Hello, everyone. It's Mark, and we are live. Good to see everyone. Hello to Toot Barkley, Jesse, Smitty, Gunther Navar. I hope I'm saying that right. Anthony Vasquez, Paulie Taylor, USA. Good to see everyone. I hope everyone's having a great Friday so far. Just give people a chance here to join, because we all know how great YouTube's notification is. Well, their whole site, and I was being sarcastic, but really their entire website is broken, YouTube. But anyway, good to see everyone. I figured today we'll just hang out for a bit, watch a few sovereign citizens in court, laugh at some stupid. And then later today, probably after this stream, I have a new Karen video coming out. It's already available if you're a channel member. It'll be made public. So yeah, good to see everyone. Proud to catch you live. Good to have you here too. Great to see you. Always great to see you, my friend. Been wanting to do more of these live streams. Just don't have enough time during the day. All right, so let's just jump right into it, I guess. Let's bring up our first video. And this first video is one of my favorite sovereign citizens in court. This sovereign citizen talked himself into a 5-year prison sentence. Now, I guarantee you he didn't do the entire 5 years, but it's ridiculous that he managed to talk himself into a 5-year prison sentence. Hey, Barbie doll, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Good morning, and I apologize if I butcher anyone's names. I'm terrible at names. But yeah, let's just get right into it. Let's see. Share screen, share tab with audio. And there. Make that full screen. Hello to Mark P. And Shaughn Ziech, good to see you. I hope you're doing well. Hello to JMC and Kathy Molly, and Callian's agitated partner. Good to see you. So yeah, let's just jump right into it. And let me know if you guys can hear the audio on this or not. Should be able to.
We would like to be on the record in Bonneville County case CR 2016-13677, State of Idaho versus Daryl Johnson. Mr. Johnson is present, along with counsel, Mr. Daniel Taylor. State of Idaho is present, represented by Ms. North Shaw. We are here today for a scheduled sentencing. Objection. As Mr. Taylor, I will give you a chance to speak, sir. Mr. Taylor is...
he does not represent me in this matter.
Mr. Johnson, I really don't want to handle this in a contempt proceeding, sir, so let me just finish and say what we're here for. I will give you the chance to address the court at the proper time. Mr. Taylor has filed a motion to withdraw his counsel of record. That will be the first thing that we take up. He is currently listed as counsel of record. The court will address that. But as stated, we also are here for a scheduled sentencing in this matter. Mr. Taylor, you have filed a motion to withdraw his counsel of record. I take it from Mr. Johnson that he does no longer wish to have you represent him. Is that correct, Mr. Johnson?
For the record, I am Daryl Bea. I am Aboriginal, Indigenous, Allodial, Moorish American, and I reserve all my rights, all rights to me to be reserved and retained, without recourse, without prejudice. I am here only by special appearance to address the matter of status. I am a flesh and blood being, and I have an interest in this nom de guerre as it pertains to me, and you are not to do anything to it, or you violate the Constitution.
All right. So we are not even 2 full minutes into this, and he's already spewing his sovereign citizen nonsense. Like, Like, really, they always say that they're there by special appearance, but that doesn't mean anything. Like, in their delusional world, it means something, but it really doesn't. Like, hey, Pat Dillinger, good to see you, my friend. Hope you're doing well. And yes, please hit that like and share if you enjoy these videos, or a random frauder will come to your house and that'd be terrible if a frauditor showed up at your house.
You are not a judge. You are an acting judge. You are not qualified to hear a case at law as it pertains to my status as an all-natural blood being. So, as we proceed, I would like to...
Hold on, Mr. Johnson. It was a simple question. Do you wish Mr. Taylor to represent you?
As I said once again, the nom de guerre, it has an interest to me. It's an interest to me, but it's not me. I'm Daryl Ray Bea, Aboriginal.
Mr. Johnson.
Moorish American.
And once again, he refuses to answer the basic, simple question: do you want representation? It's a yes or no. Like, stop reading your script and just answer the damn question. What state is this? Hang on. I'm not sure. Let me check. Do I have it in my description? Nah, I'm not sure what state this is in, but but they may say it here in the video. That's a good question, actually.
Mr. Johnson, you have hired Mr. Taylor. He has entered a notice of appearance.
Can we produce a contract? Because I haven't signed any contract.
Mr. Johnson, do you wish Mr. Taylor to represent you?
No.
All right. Thank you. Mr. Taylor, you wish to address the court?
Yes, Your Honor.
Go ahead.
I was contacted by my client approximately a week ago. He asked me to file a motion to withdraw. He kind of gave me a rundown on the things that he wanted to address with the court. I believe he filed some things with the court, and I received them back. I was informed the court would not be addressing those matters. Quite frankly, I don't think I can serve as counsel in the capacity that I ordinarily would at this stage in the proceedings, because I'm not even sure exactly what it is Mr. Bea wants me to argue. So
he just wants you to argue some sovereign citizen nonsense that doesn't mean anything.
I wouldn't go as far as to say a breakdown in the attorney-client privilege, but I'm being asked to argue things that are simply inconsistent with the law.
They said Utah? Oh, okay. Oh, that's good to know. I mean, these so-called people are dumbing down, or the dumbing down member party of America. Yes, Sox, this is live. Good to see you. We are live, just watching some sovereign citizen videos. Just reading through the chat real quick. All right.
It's not a Supreme Court law.
I'm simply asking for permission to withdraw.
All right, Mr. Johnson, let me ask you some questions, sir, before we proceed concerning the representation of Mr. Taylor. Mr. Taylor, you have the right to be represented by an attorney in this matter. You also have the right to represent yourself. The court has the obligation to make sure you understand those rights, and that any rights you waive are knowing and voluntary. Do you understand that?
I do not waive any of my inalienable rights as Moorish American at all. And the documents that were submitted to the court show no record that they show, and I have at the same time I have the receipt and docket numbers, U.S. postage mail numbers of receipt obtained by the, shall I say, the court clerk with signatures. So therefore, they're in notice of it. If you don't, I'll conserve your copy of the paperwork that's needed.
Mr. Johnson, here's how this works. I will ask some questions. I'll give you the chance to argue whatever you want to argue at the appropriate time. This has to be.
We got to see some Mark Stevens before I leave for work at 12:45. I'm sure, trust me, I'm sure we'll have some Mark Stevens videos, or some idiot trying to Mark Stevens' defense. Hello, Emily M. Good to see you, my friend. Nod to God, well, I guess these Sovcits are always going into battle with everything, so... But no, it's still his name, not his name assumed for combat. What the hell does this idiot mean? Yeah, well, I mean, this guy probably doesn't even know what he's talking about. He's just reading off a script, so I doubt he knows what this means, what anything that he's saying means.
Be done in a logical, methodical order.
It is logical, methodical order.
The question is, sir. The question is, sir. You have the right to be represented by an attorney.
I don't need it.
You also have the right to be represented yourself.
Appropriate persona, proper person. Not
Mr. Johnson.
Be confused.
Mr. Johnson. I think there's only one person confused here, and it's you.
It's not me at all.
So
I have already alerted the International Criminal Courts and the United Nations of the fraudulent activities going on here today.
That's just fine. You're free to notify whoever you like, sir. I need to make sure that any waiver you make representing yourself is knowing and voluntary. So
I submitted a special appearance. It shows online that it was received in a repository. So the special appearance, which is here.
Mr. Johnson, I'm going to ask some very basic questions to make sure you understand what's going on. How old are you?
Hey, Bama Green Eyes, good to see you. No worries for being late. We're just really getting started. Hello to Ravenin. Hey, Mark, just got here. What did I miss? Not much, just watching a Sovcit make a fool of himself in court. You know, and of course, this Sovcit decides to talk himself into a 5-year prison sentence, which is a brilliant thing to do. Hey, Liz D, good to see you. Hey, Michael Walters, good to see you, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Just going through the chat real quick. Every time he interrupts, the cash register sound should go off. Make him pay for interrupting the judge. Oh, I agree. And I'm surprised he interrupts the judge a lot in this video, and the judge listens to his nonsense for a while. So, which I mean, he wastes the court's time. So, yep, you can't fix stupid. That's for sure.
You, sir.
Can we get to the matters of status and jurisdiction?
Mr. Johnson, here's how this works. I dictate the proper role of the court and the order in which things are taken up. Right now, I'm trying to decide if Mr. Taylor should continue to represent you.
He does by law.
Mr. Johnson,
he can't represent me.
Mr. Johnson, Mr. Taylor has filed a notice of appearance in this court. He is currently the attorney of record listed, and I need to follow the proper procedure.
Well, the proper procedures were already met when I sent in the special appearance, notice of special appearance, that I'm Moorish American, and that I have my right. And I'm not a ward of the court. I'm not a corporation, and I'm not in pro se, and I have a constitutional right.
And how old are you, Mr. Johnson?
That doesn't proceed with the matters of status and jurisdiction.
Just answer the damn question. It's not that difficult.
Do you have any specific knowledge of the law or of court?
It's like he's so obsessed with getting through his script, he's not even paying attention to what the judge is saying. Hey, Marty Mattel, good to see you. And again, I apologize if I butcher anyone's names. Special appearance is not for criminal cases. Try telling that to these Sovcits. Hey, Archangel Azrael, good to see you. Good morning. Hope you're doing well. Happy Friday to everyone.
By the Supreme Court states laws.
Do you have any specific knowledge of the law or of court?
Canon law can supersede the Supreme Court. No lower court. So For one, this is the Supreme Court, state's law. That's actual law, constitutional law. Foreign policies, which you're trying to impose, that I'm not willing to contract with. That the account, that the benefit, the nom de guerre that you're trying to affiliate me as, that I'm not. That I am Daryl LeRae Bea, and I'm a Moorish Aboriginal, Moorish American.
Now, Mr. Johnson, you understand, sir, that you have the right to be represented by an attorney. Do you understand that?
Moors cannot be represented by white people and their Negro slaves in the Christian courtroom, nature's law, Zodiac Constitution, Article 7.
All right. Everything he just said, I have one question. What the hell is the Zodiac Constitution? Never heard of it. And then he claims that Moorish Americans can't be represented by white people. This guy is so delusional. But seriously though, what the hell is the Zodiac Constitution? I'm sure he just made it up. I mean, oh, and that's a good reminder. If you all click the live chat instead of top chat, you can see everyone's comments. Thank you, Bama Green Eyes, for reminding everyone. Hey, Joyous the Song. Good old Moorish racism. I found the Zodiac Constitution online a while back. I don't remember a lot of it, but it was mostly rambling nonsense. Yeah, I'm not surprised by that. I mean, everything that these Sovcits say is basically nonsense, and I wouldn't be surprised if the Zodiac Constitution is nonsense as well. Hey, PJC, good to see you. Hope you're doing well, my friend.
I, Daryl LeRae Bea, never consented or asked, nor do I recognize the Colony Union State Attorney against nature's law and Moorish Zodiac Constitution. I am a Moorish American, and that is my right by Supreme Court law of the constitutional law.
Anything else you'd like to say as to the representation of Mr. Taylor?
I'm a representation of myself.
So
I'm a proper person, not to be confused with pro se. All I ask is that we continue.
You understand, Mr. Johnson, the court's going to hold you to the exact same standard as I would to an attorney as we go through the sentencing today.
It's not the same. How can we do anything when there you go. You would need a notice of special appearance because it was already sent in. It's documented.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. Anything, Ms. Shaw?
You can't. How can you override
Mr. Johnson?
Right? You're in violation of
Mr. Johnson,
right.
I don't want to hold you in contempt, but I would tell you we have a procedure here. The parties get a chance to speak, and I will hold you in contempt. I'm also anticipating ruling on this motion in just a minute. The state has the right to speak. You have spoken. Ms. Shaw.
Thank you, Your Honor. At this time, if Mr. Taylor believes that the attorney-client relationship is broken down between himself and Mr. Johnson, I can only rely on his representations. I'm not going to take a position on whether or not he should remain in the case. Thank you.
All right.
I looked it up. The Zodiac Constitution is indeed fictional Moorish stuff, derivative of the true American Constitution, but twisted. So basically, made up nonsense. Oh, I agree with you, Archangel. Is that when they start this script nonsense, they should immediately be held in contempt and taken away. I 100% agree. I mean, just look at this video. It's 40 minutes long, and I mean, the judge goes back and forth with this guy for a while. You know, I don't know. I mean, I think nowadays cops are starting to do a better job of figuring out and identifying these sovereign citizens and not wasting their time. And I think the same thing has to happen with judges. Like, they shouldn't have to listen to this nonsense and just throw them in contempt when they start it.
Mr. Taylor, at this point, I'm going to allow you to withdraw as counsel of record in this case. If you provide appropriate order, but I'll make it as effective as of right now. Okay.
And that counsel is probably thinking, thank God that I don't have to deal with this Sovcit lunatic. Hey, Jack Gunner, hope you're doing well. Happy Friday, my friend. Oh yeah, I agree with that. We've seen in a couple of these sovereign citizen videos in the past, when they go to court, the judge does order a mental evaluation. It doesn't happen often, but it should. So,
Yes, sir. Mr. Johnson, you have the right, sir, to have me appoint a public defender if you wish to have representation by counsel.
No, I represent myself in appropriate persona.
All right.
Did you need an affidavit of fact or writ of discovery?
Then, Mr. Johnson, the next thing we will take up is you have submitted some paperwork. You have not actually noticed that up for hearing.
I sent it in with the court's clerk.
The court, as I explained to you, sir,
Here.
you're obligated to fulfill all of the proper roles as an attorney would. It's not been noticed up for hearing. The court deems it as a notice to dismiss for lack of jurisdiction, so that can be raised at any point. So if you choose, you can notice it up for hearing following the proper procedure, but that is not up for hearing today. The court is scheduled for sentencing today. Let me ask, have you received a copy of the pre-sentence investigation report in this matter?
The only matters that I'm addressing here is status and jurisdictional matters, which can be attacked at any time, stated by the Supreme Court law. Here it is right here. Void orders can be attacked at any time.
Correct.
An order that exceeds the jurisdiction of the court is void or voidable and can be attacked in any proceeding in any court where the validity of the judgment comes into issue.
All right.
Rose versus Emily, 1808, 4 Branch 241.
So, Mr. Johnson, do you wish to address the issue of jurisdiction at this point?
I had a coworker that is a former cop. He said they were trained that if they start with this stuff when pulled over, they are to immediately hit their emergency button and get back up. Oh, that doesn't surprise me at all. I mean, I know we like to make fun of these sovereign citizens and stuff, but one thing I think we sometimes forget is that they can become extremely violent. Sovereign citizens have been known to murder officers before. And hell, just look at the rise of the Moors standoff. What was it, last year, I think? I mean, they got to a standoff here in Massachusetts. And I don't know, they can become extremely violent. So that doesn't surprise me that they're instructed to hit their emergency button and get back up. And then they wonder, these Sovcits we see all the time in traffic stops. Oh, now they have the entire police force here. Well, yeah, because you're a Sovcit, you're unpredictable, and they're not taking any chances. Yep, it's unfortunate, but it's true. I mean, exactly, PJC. They lack jurisdiction, but they'll suddenly have it if they dismiss the charges. I really want to know what these Sovcits are thinking, but then again, they really don't think whatsoever.
Yes, I do.
All right.
Status and jurisdiction.
I will hear the argument as to jurisdiction.
This should be good. I'm sure the sovereign citizen will make a coherent and good argument on jurisdiction.
Exactly. Okay. So now, do you want a copy of the special appearance? Do you need one, or do you have it there?
Oh, I've received the documentation.
Okay. Good. Okay. Then we can proceed with it. Now, it comes now.
But I've read it. You don't need to read it. I've read through the documentation. Go ahead. Any additional thing to add besides the paperwork?
Additional thing to add is, what is your name, nationality, and status?
The court does not answer questions. It asks questions, sir.
That when jurisdiction is brought up, it's no lack in ignoring jurisdiction. Jurisdiction must be decided. It cannot be counseled by anybody. Jurisdiction must be decided within it when it's brought up, and that's Supreme Court case law. And that's a violation of constitutional rights. So what you're saying is you violate the constitutional right, which is Title 18 United States Code at law? Is that what we're saying? So we don't respect the Constitution, we don't respect the rights of Moorish American people as what I am? Is that what we're saying? because I've already alerted the international courts. I've already alerted the parties that needed to be the provost, marshal, and have documentation to prove things that's going on. So therefore, in the matter of status and jurisdiction, we need to come to a resolution on this. Status and jurisdiction has not been proven. So I'm asking you, what is your name, nationality, and status for the record?
Anything else to add to your argument, sir?
It's not an argument, it's a request.
I love how the judge is just letting him ramble on. You know, he just asked the judge, you know, his nationality, and the judge is like, "You have anything else, sir?" Like, oh, I know. Yeah, sovereign citizens, they definitely are, in my opinion, domestic terrorists, in my opinion. Now we watch some idiots. Good way to start the week, to get the weekend started. Just going through the comments real quick. But yeah, it's like he rambles, you know, on, and the judge is like, "Anything else to add, sir?" Like, he knows, the judge absolutely knows that what he's saying is all nonsense. Yeah, what international court has authority in the United States? That's a great question. I think the only person that can answer that is this Sovcit. Because we all know that international courts don't have any authority whatsoever here in the United States.
A Supreme Court request. That is supreme law stated by the Constitution, which if you don't have it, I have the Constitution right here. That
You can argue whatever you like on your motion to dismiss, but that's, like I said, we're here for a motion. The court has deemed that paperwork a motion to dismiss for jurisdiction. But go ahead. Anything else to add?
This lack of jurisdiction, if it has no jurisdiction and no status, then is void of law on its face and merits, because it's an unconstitutional and unlawful court. And this is a fraudulent activity as well.
I've said this before and I'll say it again. If these sovereign citizens really think that the court has no jurisdiction, why do they even bother showing up to court? I'll tell you why. It's because deep down they know that their sovereign citizen nonsense is just that, plain, utter nonsense.
This is fraudulent, human trafficking, and treason. The only thing that you are to traffic is goods. You are to only traffic goods. This is an administrative venue. This is not a court. You're not even a judge. And that is actual fact.
Anything
I'm
else?
not a corporation. I'm a flesh and blood being. I've stated my status for the record. I'm asking for your status of the record so we can find out, do you have jurisdiction or not, and where did you get jurisdiction from? And I asked for delegation of authority order with a response within 10 days. Never did I get that. So if you don't have delegation of authority through the Congress of legislature, then how can you proceed in these proceedings? How can this be a lawful tribute?
Delegation of authority. Anybody hit bingo yet? If we were playing bingo, I'm sure somebody would have hit it by now. Fact is, even if they aren't American, the Constitution and laws still apply. My parents were resident aliens for like 20 years, and the laws and Constitution applied. Except my parents couldn't vote. Exactly, but these sovereign citizens in their minds think, oh, well, I'm not American, my nationality is Moorish, so I don't have to follow laws in America. Well, as the meme says, that's not how it works. That's not how any of this works. Hidden like is much better than guilt. Oh, I agree. He's not a judge. The guy should be held in contempt. I agree. This judge is very patient, perhaps a little too patient. Bingo. Oh, trust me, he gets what he deserves, I think. I mean, if you haven't seen this clip before, just wait till the end. It gets really good.
Anything else, or to add?
I just want the answers that I'm asking for.
Well, like I've already explained, sir, the court is not in a position. I don't give answers. I ask questions and make decisions.
Well, once the status and jurisdiction is brought up, it cannot be ignored. That's Supreme Court law. So you're telling me that you're above Supreme Court?
What I'm asking, sir, is this is a motion to dismiss for jurisdiction. Anything more to add to your argument?
Motion needs to be dismissed. If you can't prove status and jurisdiction, then there's no status and there's no jurisdiction here. And you're operating under quasi. Let me look at my notes here. What is this? Acting as de facto quasi jurisdiction, pretending to have jurisdiction over me as a free Elodio Moore American national. Now I'm a national. A national is the highest ranking citizen in the United States of America. And if you don't agree, then I have confirmation through Barack Obama, through the legislations, and other information that's deemed necessary as it pertains to the matters. So the matters that's pertaining to right now is status and jurisdiction. And I'm asking for status and jurisdiction. If you do not have it, or you're not trying to answer it, then this case must be dismissed.
Hey, Patty, good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Happy Friday, and hello to El Whiskador. Happy Friday, my friend. Hope you're doing well also. Hey, always insult the people you're begging favors for. Yep, because I'm sure that will really help your situation. National delusional. Judge Judy would destroy these people if they would need a diaper leaving her courtroom themselves. All right, let's get back into it.
Anything else?
You can't provide the proper things that's asked for, then this case is dismissed.
All right, Ms. Shaw, any response? Thank you, Mr. Johnson.
She doesn't have anything to say.
Mr. Johnson, I've given you a chance to speak. I will now allow the state to speak. You may take a seat, sir, or you can remain standing either way. Go ahead.
Your Honor.
Sir, you can remain standing either way. Go ahead.
Your Honor. At this point, I haven't received any of the filings of
Your office did. The office has received them.
Okay. I just haven't seen them. And Your Honor, at this point, I would indicate that a couple of things. First of all, Mr. Johnson has subjected himself to the jurisdiction of this court throughout these proceedings. I realize that his original preliminary hearing, he made some of the same arguments. We ended up going forward with a preliminary hearing eventually. He has appeared before this court multiple times. Mr. Johnson is charged with being in the state of Idaho, specifically in Bonneville County on November 23rd of 2016 and committing a crime. As this court is aware, this court has jurisdiction to hear criminal matters that occur within the state of Idaho. It's very clear. Idaho law gives you jurisdiction to hear those types of matters. Mr. Johnson, in his pre-sentence investigation, indicates that his place of birth is Norfolk, Virginia, making him a United States citizen. So his arguments about Moorish American and indigenous Aborigine have no bearing here in this courtroom today.
This prosecutor, she's not falling for any of this Sovcits stuff either. And we were wondering earlier where this was. It's in Idaho, so what did she just say? He was born in Virginia, so he's not a Moorish. Boom, roasted. He has subjected himself to the court's jurisdiction. Exactly. But he's still going to make the same repetitive argument at least 3 more times, I bet, if I remember correctly.
Really, the only issue is, does this court have jurisdiction to hear a criminal case? Idaho law is very clear that you do. And since that's really the only basis he brings today, I would argue that the court should deny the motion to dismiss at this time.
Objection.
Thank you, Michelle. Wait a second, Mr. Johnson. We're recording everything, so let me just make sure that you get the chance to respond, sir. Go ahead.
Now, at any time that a Moorish American national, which I have my stuff through Congress, my seals, which are with Congress, noted with the library, and I have the public states at large, United States of America, peace and friendship treaty with the United States of Morocco. So, therefore, I am the natural American citizen. This is a foreign venue, foreign court, unsanctioned, unconstitutional, non-common law foreign court. This court has no jurisdiction in any matter that pertains to me, my status of who I am, and you are not to dictate my status of who I am and my nationality as a Moorish Aboriginal. Violation of my constitutional right, deprivation of my constitutional right, which is Title 18, what is it, page, numbers 241, deprivation of my rights, my secure rights, unalienable rights. As a Moorish American outlaw, I am the only one that can practice law in my land. If you have anything to practice law, you need to produce a delegation of authority order that the Congress have allowed you to have. Other than that, this venue is a fraudulent venue and it's only meant for trafficking goods. I am not.
I am shocked that this guy was in order to undergo a mental health evaluation. Had they actually read the treaty, also it expired. That's a good point there, Rosin. I'm sorry, I always butcher your name. My apologies. Well, thank you very much, Kathy Malloy, Kathy Malloy, for the $5 super sticker. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Not goods. I'm not part of a corporation. I'm not an entity, and I'm not misrepresented for this misrepresented by fraudulent construct of all capitals is not me, and that is not who I am. And I have proof to verify that. That is here. I have supreme law to back it up, and I have loaded. Like I said, I've alerted all the federal parties that need to be alerted behind these matters. As it says, Article 3, the judicial power of the United States shall be vested in one Supreme Court, which this does not look like a Supreme Court to me at all, and in such inferior courts as the Congress may from time to time ordain and establish the judges. Both of the Supreme and inferior courts shall hold their offices during good behavior and shall at stated times receive their services and compensation, which shall not be diminished during their continuance in office. The judicial power shall extend to all cases in law and inequity. This is color of law. This is not no law under the Constitution at all. This is color of law, foreign policy, corporation policy, and I choose not to contract. I don't have to contract. You don't have a live wet ink signature from me. Not unless you have a red ink signature from me and a thumbprint, that is not no signature.
And of course, the wet ink signature nonsense. He's literally hitting every square on the bingo card. What nonsense. Yep, I agree. So much nonsense. Hey, James Rhodes, good to see you, my friend. Happy Friday. I hope you're doing well. Hey, Jennifer Kline, good to see you. It's been a while since I've last seen you. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Always great to see you. Just going through the chat here, guys, real quick. Yeah, YouTube's been terrible with notifications. Like, their entire system is broken for, like, everything on YouTube.
I've never gave you one, nor consented to this activity, and I'm denying it now for the record to be placed upon the record. And my
Anything else, sir?
nationality is secured, and my rights are inalienable of the Constitution, which the Constitution pertains to us all. So we all have a right and an obligation under the Constitution. So that fact and that right is that, can you prove the status of jurisdiction? Can that be proven? No, it cannot. At all. She doesn't have judicial power at all. Only under corporation. That's that flyer, which is canon law. It's not common law, it's canon law.
Bring in a K-name delegation of authority. I'm sure the Sovcit would submit to jurisdiction then. For the record, and to the record, and of course, let the record show.
So all I'm asking here today, when I filed special appearance, notices were sent out, I got receipts dating everything, and all I'm asking for here is for status. Find out if you have status or not. Under the constitutional right.
All right, thank you, Mr. Johnson. The court finds in this matter as indicated that Mr. Johnson's files had an objection or a motion to dismiss based upon lack of jurisdiction. The court will refer to the record in this case. Mr. Johnson on
and two, it must be accountable.
Mr. Johnson, I spoke. I let you speak. All you wanted to say, I get the chance to speak at this point.
It must be accountable with my peers. That's all I want to say. I don't see any nationals in
here. The court on March 1st had a hearing with Mr. Darrell Johnson. They gave him time on that.
That is not me once again.
There was a plea agreement submitted to this court by Mr. Johnson and his counsel. At that point, the court discussed the plea agreement with Mr. Johnson. The court reviewed the file. The defendant, Mr. Johnson, was placed under oath by the clerk. Mr. Johnson, at that time, was asked a number of questions concerning the circumstance of the crime. Mr. Johnson indicated under oath what his name was, indicated that he had been located in Bonneville County on or about November 23rd. He did knowingly possess marijuana.
Hey, yeah, I forgot to mention, all of this that we're watching right now is over a marijuana case. Like, I know in a lot of places it's now legal, but probably at the time of this, when this happened, it probably wasn't legal there. I'm still not sure if it is legal there in Idaho, but yeah, just how ridiculous is this over a marijuana case? And yes, as Jennifer said, please guys, don't forget to hit the like button, ring the bell so you are notified of when I post new videos. I'll have a new Karen video, like I said at the beginning of the stream. I'll post that probably right after this stream, likely. So yeah. But yeah, all this is over marijuana. It's like he's wasting the court's time.
So I would like to.
And so at that point, based upon Mr. Johnson's own admissions, based upon the representations that he himself gave, the court denies the motion to dismiss, and we are prepared to proceed to sentencing.
How can you deny a motion when my nationality is right here?
What does nationality have to do with anything? The judge just ruled against your motion. If you don't like his ruling, you can always appeal to a higher court. Although that may be a problem for you because you probably don't believe in those higher courts anyway.
Mr. Johnson, I've denied the motion already. We are now proceed. Are you ready to proceed to sentencing?
Constitutional.
Are you ready to proceed to sentencing?
I'm not proceeding with anything. I'm not signing with anything, and I'm going to alert my counsel.
All right. We will, at this point, proceed to sentencing. It's what's scheduled for today.
How can you proceed and you can't even...
Mr. Johnson, let me review this. Mr. Johnson.
You can't even establish jurisdiction, status and jurisdiction.
Mr. Johnson.
Regardless of the fact.
I'm going to hold you in contempt if you don't allow me to speak. You will be taken into custody. We will then schedule this for a sentencing date tomorrow, if that's what you choose to do, or we can proceed today. What would you like to do?
No, I don't have a cold. I was up late last night working on some stuff. Didn't get much sleep, but I'm fine. I feel good. Just going through the chat again real quick. Yep, all because he got high.
Just asking for my constitutional
The court's already ruled on your motion to dismiss. It was denied. What would now, Mr. Johnson, do you wish to be taken into custody today, or would you like to proceed to sentencing?
Wow. I'm not agreeing to anything of sentencing. For my name is not Johnson. My name is Daryl Ray Bea, Moorish Aboriginal Indigenous, which I have my rights and I have my nationality on record. But
Mr. Johnson, let me review this. At the time of your arraignment on January 3rd, 2017, you were informed that information had been filed against you by the state of Idaho, charging you with the crime of trafficking in marijuana. You pled not guilty on that date. However, on March 1st, I believe, I already indicated. March 1st, 2017, you again appeared in court with your attorney and pursuant to a plea agreement through your previous plea of not guilty and entered a plea of guilty as charged, or excuse me, to the amended charge. Let me check that. The amended charge of possession of a controlled substance, marijuana, in excess of 3 ounces. That was done pursuant to a plea agreement. The plea agreement was the state would recommend probation at the time of sentencing, but was free to argue the terms of the underlying sentence, although the state would not request any additional upfront jail. You agreed to pay the cost of investigation, prosecution, and lab testing. All other conditions not expressly agreed upon in this written plea agreement, the parties were free to argue, and this agreement was not binding upon the court. After the court accepted your guilty plea and after you indicated that you were in fact Mr. Johnson and that you had in fact committed this crime, the court found at that point that you had made a knowing and voluntary waiver of any rights at that point of your right to.
That's a great point right there. He pled guilty. He literally pled guilty before this hearing, and now he came to this sentencing hearing arguing this jurisdiction and all this Sovcit nonsense. The moron was released from prison in July 2021 and is on probation until August 2024. That's good to know. I didn't know that. I mean, I figured he didn't serve the full 5 years, but it's still good to know. He is not a citizen. He refers to the U.S. Constitution, but only parts of it he interprets that are as beneficial to him. Yep, well, that's what every Sovcit does. Ugh. This sovereign citizens and their delusional nonsense. It's really outstanding sometimes how foolish they can make themselves look. Send him to Morocco? I agree with that. Honestly, I mean, he keeps saying that he's not an American citizen and that he's Moorish. I mean,
To a trial, and that you had pled guilty in this case. The court ordered a pre-sentence investigation report to be prepared. I have received a copy of that report. Mr. Johnson, have you received a copy of the pre-sentence investigation report?
So we're just gonna act like the Constitution and my rights do not exist. That my nationality for my declaration, my name, I have no name.
Mr. Johnson, have you received a copy of the pre-sentence investigation report?
I'm Daryl Ray Bea. I have the identification to prove who I am.
Okay. I'm going to assume that you said that since you're not objecting to that, we will proceed.
So you're gonna proceed.
Are there any parts of the report that you need to be clarified or corrected, Mr. Johnson?
So you're gonna override my constitutional rights.
Mr. Johnson, I've already ruled on your motion. Is there anything you wish to add to the pre-sentence investigation report?
The only thing that I'm going to add is that this is unlawful, this is unconstitutional, and I came in here on special appearance, not a general appearance. Everything was filed correctly with the ex-relation to Daryl Ray Johnson. Daryl Ray Bea, ex-relation to Daryl Ray Johnson. So I do have an interest in the account of Daryl Ray Johnson.
And the reason why the judge is letting him ramble on like this is because, if this Sovcit tries to appeal it, I mean, he would probably argue that he didn't get his fair say in court. So I think that's a good reason why the judge is allowing him to ramble on like this. Just going through the chat. I've been to Morocco several times. He wouldn't last. No doubt he wouldn't last. So the laws don't apply to you, but you want the protections of the U.S. Constitution. Interesting. Well, that's how all these Sovcits are. I mean, they argue all the time that, oh, I don't have to follow your laws and all this nonsense. I mean, but then they want all the benefits of the Constitution at the same time. So your special appearance apparently means you can't catch me unless I consent. Let me know how that works out for you. It's always unlawful if it never goes their way. Exactly.
Wish to stand by the plea of guilty that you previously entered in this case.
I'm not entering no plea of anything because I choose not to do anything. I choose not to do anything.
Mr. Johnson, we've already discussed you have already entered a plea of guilty in this case. The court already found
You
that.
can't go back to something that is up now into current day, especially off a special appearance form, because I'm not Daryl Johnson.
Are there going to be any witnesses for the defendant?
I'm Daryl Ray Bay.
You're going to have any witnesses?
I am the witness of this account, and I'm holding this account.
Is the state going to have any witnesses?
No, Your
This is
Honor,
not
not
to be.
Mr. Johnson, the court reporter is taking down everything that's said. We need to all take our turn speaking, sir.
Do you want?
Anything any witnesses for the state?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
All right.
Unconstitutional.
Then, Mr. Johnson, before I impose sentence in this matter, I'll give you the chance to address the court. Anything you would like to say as to your sentencing?
Like I said, so all rights are reserved. As you can see, we have filed on the paperwork, Daryl Ray Bay, authorized representative, natural person, appropriate persona, ex relation, Daryl Ray Johnson, all rights reserved. UCC 1-207/1-308, UCC 1-103, not a corporate person or entity misrepresented by fraudulent construct of all capital letters. I came here to clear up the matter and handle it as constitutionally as it's supposed to be handled. Now I find out that you're going to violate my rights. You're threatening to incarcerate me, or what it would be, the natural term would be kidnap me, human traffic me, and violate the constitutional law, which you feel you're above the Constitution. You feel you're above the Supreme Court. You feel that my proper filings of paperwork does not stand as law when they do, because if it did, then these paperwork would not have been signed by president officials and people in higher ranking than such as yourself. A lower court does not have judicial power to hear certain things when it pertains to my status and my nationality for who I am. Now, that's a violation of my constitutional rights that you are in violation of. And if you don't understand it, here's a declaration and a proclamation that is with Obama, that came from Obama, that went to the presidency, that's noticed of my Moorish American nationality through my nationality of my nation.
All right, so now he brings up Obama because apparently Obama either signed something or did something or said something about Morocco. But of course, this sovereign citizen completely misinterprets it, and it just doesn't mean anything what he thinks it means. He's not threatening imprisonment. He's promising it. He read my post. Thank you. Oh, no problem, Tank Cop. I mean, I try to read as many comments as possible on these live streams. I love the interaction and just hanging out with all of you. Obama, LOL. Obama said hi. So delusional. If only the Vatican would reveal the truth. Help me, Trump. Help me, Obama. Help me, Queen Elizabeth. Oh, well, we did have that one guy that literally prayed to Trump, so you guys are awesome with the comments, making me laugh.
So there's no counsel of my peers here. There's none of my nationals here. This is not a courtroom. This is an unlawful venue. This is an administration. There's no counsel of my peers here. There's none of my nationals here. This is not a courtroom. This is an unlawful venue. This is an administrative venue only meant for commerce. I'm not commercing. I'm not contracted with the state of Idaho or anything of any sort.
Why is the judge just allowing him to ramble on and on? Honestly, he should have been held in contempt of court a couple of minutes ago.
I've sent in the proper paperwork and the proceedings that needed to be. So anything that, this is all that we need to discuss right here. Status and peace and friendship treaty of the United States with Morocco, which it pertains to me because I am an Aboriginal indigenous person of the land and I have documentation to prove it.
Is there anything else you'd like to add as to your sentencing, sir?
I guess if you're going to violate the Constitution and my rights, I guess so. Well, I would not be signing anything. I would not be doing anything of the sort. And like I said, stated for the record, I came here to clear up the matter and establish status and jurisdiction, which you have not proven. And I filed for notice of dismissal.
I'm not entirely sure what happened with the guy who prayed to Trump. I know in one video he got his ass kicked, basically. He ran his mouth up to somebody. And then another video, he had a meltdown at a post office, which I think I've shown that one here on the channel. But I'm not sure what exactly happened to him after that. I always laugh when I think of the words Winston Cave. Yep, that's the guy who prayed to Trump, Winston Cave. Alrighty, let's get back into it.
You have denied unconstitutionally of my rights, of my constitutional rights, which I don't understand and don't see why or it should be, because this ain't no Supreme Court in general. So rulings can only be made by the Supreme Court.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. Anything, can I have the state's recommendations as to sentencing, Ms. Shaw?
Yes, Your Honor, thank you. Pursuant to the plea agreement, I'm making the following recommendation. I am recommending that the court impose an underlying sentence of 2 years determinate, followed by 3 years indeterminate, for a total of 5 years. I am not requesting any additional upfront jail time at this time for Mr. Johnson to serve. He served a substantial amount of time.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
He served a substantial amount of time prior to entering a guilty plea in this case having begun back in November of 2016. And Mr. Johnson was released after we entered a change of plea in March of 2017. So I'm not asking for any additional upfront jail time at this point.
So that's important to note right there. The prosecution isn't asking for any additional jail time. But of course, as you can tell by the title of the video, this Sovcit makes everything worse for himself. Hey, Unclean Hand, good to see you. I hope you're doing well. Happy Friday, my friend.
Ask that the court suspend the underlying sentence, place the defendant on probation for a period of 4 years. He will need to apply for interstate compact. I understand he lives in the state of Montana, and provided he complies with probation and the interstate compact, he should be able to be supervised in that state. I do have a restitution motion for $431.31 for costs of prosecution incurred in this case, and we would ask the court to enter an order to that effect. We have received no objection to the matter, to the motion at this point, and I'm not aware of any issues there. And that's all I really have to add for sentencing. Thank you.
All right. Mr. Johnson, before I impose sentence in this matter, I'll give you the chance once again to address the court. This is known as your right of allocution. You're not required to say anything, but I would give you that chance if you wish to address the court.
All I'm here is to handle my constitutional right and see that my constitutional rights are reserved, for they are not inalienable at all, and they are secured by the Constitution, American Constitution, the Peace and Friendship Treaty. That's what I came here for, to do.
And Mr. Johnson, let me just reiterate, are you sure you want to proceed without an attorney? I can have one appointed.
I'm an appropriate persona, a natural person, flesh and blood being. I'm not a corporate person, I'm not a corporate entity, none of that. It's fraudulent, that capitals, fraudulent in all capitals, that is not me, that is not who I am.
Mr. Johnson, your attorney that you had retained indicated that he didn't think that this argument had any basis in law. The court has already ruled against you.
The judge is trying everything he can to try and convince this Sovcit to get an attorney. But of course, this sovereign citizen knows the law better than everybody else, so of course he won't take an attorney. Listening to delusional, non-functioning idiots. Yeah, that's what this guy is for sure, in my opinion at least. I saw a guy beg Putin for help before getting tased. I think I know that video you're talking about. I think I saw it. I'm not sure if he got tased though. I mean, if we're thinking about the same video, he kept kicking the police and damaging the cars and everything. That guy, he must have been on something or needed mental help. But anyway. If he's wearing a fez, then all he says is pure as gospel. I really wish there was actual video of this, just so we could see if he was wearing a fez or not. I have no doubt he probably is wearing a fez. Who would go to court without an attorney? I can tell you who. Only a jackwagon. Exactly. Yep. Yep, the guy who was yelling for Putin to help, that was on Code Blue Cam, I think. Yeah, I remember that. It was just a recent video too. That guy, I mean, I kind of feel bad for him, but I mean, he had to have been either mentally unstable or on drugs or something. I mean, greetings from Ireland. Hey, Scott. John, I apologize if I butchered your name. I'm terrible with names, everyone, so please don't take it personally. But hello, and thank you for joining us from Ireland.
Is there anything else that you would like to say? I certainly think you need to have an attorney and have one represent you. Is there any way I can talk you into having an attorney represent you?
I highly doubt it, because sovereign citizens think they know everything about the law, when in reality, they know nothing about the law.
For one, I read already that. Let me just go back into this.
No, Mr. Johnson, you've already read it. If you've already read it, the court understands. I just want to make sure you understand that you have the right to an attorney, and I think you need one.
Moors cannot be represented by white people and their Negro slaves in the Christian courtroom. Nature's law, Zodiac Constitution, Article 7. I am a Moorish Aboriginal, and I have documented proof to prove who I am.
Okay. All right, we've gone over that. Like I said, I just wanted to make sure.
This is crazy. Wow.
Based upon Mr. Johnson, your plea of guilty is the judgment of this court that you are guilty of the crime of possession of marijuana greater than 3 ounces. I've gone back and reviewed the pre-sentence investigation.
Take care, to Berkeley. Thank you for stopping by and have a great day.
Report. I've listened to your statements. The plea agreement in this case is a recommendation of probation. The court has the obligation, as the objectives of criminal sentencing adopted by the Idaho Supreme Court. Those are protecting society, deterring you and others from committing this type of crime, the possibility of rehabilitation, and punishment or retribution for wrongdoing. The court also has the criteria. I have to review the criteria set forth in Idaho Code 1925-21 relative to the question of whether I should place you on probation or confine you to prison. One of the things the court has to ask is that if I think you can be successful on probation, if you can follow the rules of probation, if you can follow the guidelines that this court has. The court, in making these considerations, I want to refer to the pre-sentence investigation report that was prepared in this case. That's located on page 8 of the pre-sentence investigation report under the prior record comments. It indicates this appears to be Mr. Johnson's third felony conviction as an adult and his first felony conviction in Idaho. He has a criminal history dating back to his youth, spanning throughout California, Nevada, and Idaho. He received his first felony as an adult for a burglary conviction out of California in 2004. It indicates he was sentenced to 3 years of probation and said that although he was violated for absconding, he completed probation successfully. Mr. Johnson then reported he was on felony probation out of Nevada from 2010 until 2012. According to the NCIC reports, there isn't a disposition list for that case, and this information cannot be confirmed. It is worth mentioning that he has a prior felony charge out of California that was later dismissed. He was also convicted of a misdemeanor sex crime in 2003, and it indicates here you're required to register as a sex offender. Reviewing of your of this case, you indicate you had a fairly good childhood growing up. You were born in Virginia. Your family relocated to California approximately a year later. Your father was in the military. Your mother was a nurse. Your parents did get divorced. I want to congratulate you, sir. And it says you did later obtain your GED, even though you had trouble as a teenager and ultimately dropped out of school. So I think that's good that you've obtained your GED, that you have, that you were able to accomplish that. It also.
Yeah, this guy's past is terrible. I mean, it's freaking. I mean, they want to be a sovereign citizen if he didn't have a lengthy criminal history. That's for sure.
In case you have positive relationships with your parents, they are supportive, and as he works to get his life back on track. Further review of the pre-sentence investigation report. Indicates in this case that you report being successfully discharged from probation. It indicates, Mr. Johnson, that you admitted to smoking marijuana on a daily basis prior to this arrest. You don't feel that you have any substance abuse issues at this time. You indicate you've never participated in a treatment program. You don't feel you need it. And then they recommend a term of probation.
Yeah, I agree with you, USA. In my opinion, sex offenders are the lowest of the low. I say prison. Yep, I agree with that. Like I think a life sentence is definitely in order. I mean, for any sex offender, it's an inexcusable crime. He's just a screw up. He's gonna make things even worse for himself here in the next few minutes.
So in making my final rulings on the court, Mr. Johnson, let me ask, do you wish to be placed on probation?
And I just asked for, so we're not going to do none of that. So you're just going to disregard my nationality and my identification card says who I am.
All right, I'm going to take that you will not comply since you are failing to comply with the orders and requests of this court. The court's going to find that based upon the criteria set forth in Idaho Code 1925-21, the court finds that you will not and would not likely be successful on probation. So the court in this time is going to be the judgment of this court that you be sentenced to the custody of the Idaho Department of Corrections as follows. For a minimum term of 1 year, followed by an indeterminate term of 4 years, for a total of 5 years. You're going to order, I don't know if you have any other sentences. I will order those things run concurrent.
He literally just couldn't keep his mouth shut. And for his reward on this edition of Stupid Games and Stupid Prizes, he gets a 5-year prison sentence. 5-year stay at the Gray Bar Hotel.
With each other.
So my
There'll be a fine in this case of $1,000, standard court cost payments into the victim's relief fund.
So my nationality doesn't mean a thing.
So the judge is sentencing him now, and he's still arguing about his nationality. Like, nationality has nothing to do with anything. Yeah, I believe this was from 2017. 2017, yeah, that sounds correct.
Coming here to put it on record, giving it to you without no malicious intent, just doing my
Mr. Johnson, you've already argued a motion to dismiss. The court's denied it. If you wish, you can appeal it to a higher court. That's certainly your right.
So you're gonna.
You're advised, in fact, that you have the right to appeal the Idaho Supreme Court from this judgment conviction. You have a right to be represented by an attorney in that appeal. If you cannot afford an attorney, the attorney will be appointed for you at public expense. However, you only have 42 days from today's date to file that appeal. You also may have rights under the Idaho Criminal Rule 35. This gives you 120 days to seek a correction or reduction of the sentence if you feel it was illegal or unduly harsh. You also may have rights under the Idaho Uniform Post-Conviction Relief Act.
The audio gets a bit choppy at the end, so I'm going to end the video here. That's Sovereign Citizen. We finally got through it, but that was full of word salad and nonsense and everything that you expect from a sovereign citizen. We have 62 viewers here watching. Good to see everyone as always. Don't forget to hit that like button if you haven't already. Just helps the channel and the algorithm. So this next video, it's a lot shorter, thank God. This sovereign citizen believes that he can dismiss his own court case, but of course, the judge proves him otherwise. Let me just bring it up here. Hang on. All right, let's see. Share. Take care, Unclean. Good to see you. That made my day, knowing he went to prison. Yeah. And he did it all, and he was gonna get probation. Like, he just couldn't keep his mouth shut and answer some simple questions. All right, share screen, Chrome tab. Oh wait, this is the wrong video. This is the one we just watched. My bad. All right, this is the one. Yep. This is a good one too. I haven't seen this one in a while. But the judge doesn't put up with this Sovcits nonsense. I know that for sure. Roll the audio.
Will my rights be reserved, guaranteed to be reserved if I enter into this bar?
Mr. Wood, if you don't want to recognize the court, that's entirely up to you. But if you want me to proceed today, you can come up to the podium.
So is that a yes or a no?
Mr. Wood, do you recognize the Constitution?
Yes, I do.
Then you should recognize me because I am not.
Well, then I challenge jurisdiction.
Well, we're off to a great start with this guy. Take care, my friend. Thank you for stopping by. How many times have we seen these fools turn their misdemeanors into felonies? Oh, hundreds and thousands. And, you think by now that they would watch each other's videos and realize that this nonsense never works. Like, this sovereign citizen stuff does not work. Why don't these Sovcits realize that? Well, because My guess would be is they're delusional, of course. What makes them think they're going to win? It's never worked in the past. It's not going to work now. Exactly. It never works. In their delusional heads, they think it works, but it doesn't. And of course, we're off to a great start with classic arguments from the sovereign citizen script.
Mr. Wood, I'm not an appointed official, I'm an elected official by the people, so you should recognize me per the Constitution on Article 3. Have you read that?
Well, do you have the oath of office to prove that you have delegation of authority? Can I see it?
Sure, you can come on up and look at it.
But will I be guaranteed that I'll reserve my rights?
Any rights that you have today aren't going to change by you walking up to the podium.
So it's reserved.
Any rights you have will not be changed if you walk up to the podium.
So it'll be reserved then, for the record.
Mr. Wood, do you want to go forward today?
I don't want to proceed until I see documents of delegation of authority for the oath of office.
Okay.
And the officer that arrested me is not here, so I dismiss this case.
That's not how it works, Sovcits. You can't dismiss your own case. And you see, this is why I'm going to start mixing up my content a little bit with Karen videos, because these Sovcits, they all repeat the same thing. All of them. Just going through the comments again. All right.
You're requesting
I
that
need-
the case get dismissed?
Yes, because I have a right to face my accuser.
Okay.
But since they're not here, I dismiss this case.
That's not how it works. That's not how any of this works.
Okay. Do you mind if I go over a couple of procedures with you?
But all I need to know is until it's shown to me that you have delegation of authority, you can proceed. But if I don't have that, then according to pursuant to Supreme Court rulings, are you bound by those rulings?
Take care, Emily. Hope you have a great weekend as well. Thank you for stopping by.
Do you have that with you so I can read it?
And here is my this name that you guys are using are my estates too, and there's proof right here.
All right, so do you want to show me the Supreme Court ruling first? Or do you want to tell me about your different name?
I'm the executor of this estate.
Okay. Do you want me to refer to you as the executor of the state of Altonwood?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, once jurisdiction is challenged, the court cannot proceed when it clearly appears that the court lacks jurisdiction. The court has no authority to reach merits, but rather should dismiss the action. Milo v. US 505 F2D 1026.
So executor of the state for Altonwood, do you want me to read it or are you just going to read the whole thing to me?
You can read the,
It's entirely up to you if you want me to look over your document.
well, look, it's right here, all the Supreme Court rulings.
So are you submitting that to the court as your evidence?
Yes,
Yes, you are?
yes,
Are you sure you want to do that today?
yes.
Okay.
I remember this now. This is good. Just watch what the judge says here.
But I'm not proceeding until.
All right, so let the record note that Mr. Executor of the state for Altonwood has recognized this court as proceeding over this case by submitting evidence into the court. By you submitting this evidence, you recognize that I have jurisdiction.
This judge is great. She used the sovereign citizen logic against him. He submitted evidence, and by doing that, he recognized the court's jurisdiction. And that's how these judges should handle these sovereign citizens. And it makes complete sense too. He submitted evidence to the court, so therefore he recognized the court's jurisdiction. Special appearance, another hologram. Yep, this judge knew. I wouldn't be surprised. This probably first time dealing with a sovereign citizen. Like, so, like, these Sovcits, man, and their delusions. And now let's see how the Sovcit responds.
No, you don't.
You just submitted this to the court for me to review.
But you still don't have you don't have jurisdiction.
Tell me why I don't have jurisdiction.
Because I'm the executor of this estate. From the Secretary of State saying that you have to pay me $100 billion to use my name.
You serious?
Okay.
And
$100 billion to use his name. You know, I wish it was that simple. I wish I could just make up my own rules and laws and like, oh, you said my name. You owe me $10 million. Like, where do these Sovcits like come from? Well, Morocco, at least more Sovcits, but you know they really don't, but they think they do. Oh man, I forgot how good this one was.
I'm first in line, first in time.
Okay.
So, do you want me to give you an invoice for that?
You're reading a document by the state of New Mexico.
Yes,
And you
Secretary of
recognize
State.
the state of New Mexico, Secretary of State's office.
Yes, they recognize me as a executor
All right.
of this estate.
The question I'm asking the executor of the estate for Altonwood is, do you recognize that document by the state of New Mexico?
Well, that's a corporation.
Yes.
Serve and protect. No, it's more like harass and collect any, and y'all are okay with it. Well, no, I mean, these sovereign citizens are delusional and he's not being harassed. I mean, he's in court on a charge. I mean, it's not harassment, man. I mean, it's just not. I mean, these sovereign citizens try this stuff, and there's a reason why it doesn't work.
Or no?
Well, I have this is stating that I have jurisdiction over my own. You don't have jurisdiction over my case.
Okay.
And then besides, the officer is not here, so I dismissed this case.
All right, so we'll get to the officer part in a moment. First, executor of the state for Altonwood, I want to make sure that we're on the same page here. So you're saying that that document by the state of New Mexico, you recognize?
Well, this is a corporation. The state is a corporation, and the state cannot. You know, if it's the state is a plaintiff, then how could I cross-examine the state when it's a dead entity?
All right, so now you're getting into a trial issue, and I'm still trying to figure out, executor of the state for Altonwood, if I have jurisdiction or not. And the question I asked you is, do you recognize that document that you're referring to that's issued by the state of New Mexico?
It is by the state of New Mexico,
And
yes.
you recognize that document?
Well, this tells me that I'm the executor.
I love how the judge isn't falling for any of his nonsense, any of his word games or anything. She knows exactly what this Sovcit is trying to do. He refuses to answer questions questions because he knows it burns his argument, which is true. He has every right to defend himself. He chose buffoonery.
So you're
But-
saying, based off that document that's filed with the state of New Mexico, it's giving you the executorship for this name, is that correct?
that is correct.
All
It's
right,
it's
so-
signed right here.
Do you want me to look at that?
I can mail it to you.
You can mail it to the court. if
Oh,
you'd
did
like.
you have that other thing that I sent to you? Let's see.
Yeah, Judge, do you have that other thing I sent to you? Also known as my worthless Sovcits script that means absolutely nothing? Take care, Smitty. Hope you have a great day, my friend.
I'm not sure what else you sent, executor.
Okay, this one.
Why would you send me information if you think I don't have
Oh,
your?
I have. Do you have that affidavit? A copy of affidavit?
Did you mail it to the court?
Yes, I did.
Why would you mail it to the court if you don't think I have jurisdiction?
Because to notify you, put you on notice.
Okay, so the whole purpose of your mailing is to put me on notice.
Yes, put you on notice that you don't have jurisdiction.
And today you're still with the argument that I don't have jurisdiction.
Yes, you don't.
Okay. If I don't have jurisdiction and you're claiming I don't have jurisdiction and you sent me information indicating I don't have jurisdiction, then how can I dismiss this case?
Because there's no nobody to no standing. You guys have no standing because there's nobody injured. There's no injured party. There's nobody damaged.
Okay.
So I dismissed this case.
Your sovereign citizen defense isn't working, and it's never gonna work. You don't have the authority to dismiss your own case.
If you want to submit a dismissal, you can do that. If you want me to dismiss it, you have to recognize me first before I can enter that order.
Yeah, and it's like PJC was saying earlier. They only have jurisdiction if they dismiss the case. Hey, J. Carr, good to see you, my friend. They always sound nervous. They know what they don't know, but are too stupid to stop. Yeah, I've seen that troll call me. You know what he said in the chat. I mean, don't give him. He wants attention, but I don't know. The mods can show him the door if you want. I mean, when you start making insults and stuff like that, that's not welcome here. So, yeah, mods, you can show that troll guy the door if you know what I mean. Be back as soon as I can. Hey, welcome back, my friend. Hey, Ben Darlin. Thanks for the wrench and spanner. Never had one anywhere before. No problem, my friend. I like to give all my friends here wrenches and stuff like that because I don't know. I just like hanging out with you guys. I mean, so and I consider all of you in chat, especially the ones with wrenches. Even if you don't have a wrench yet, that's probably just because I don't know you too well. But I consider everyone who's nice and kind a friend to me. So yeah.
Well, I can. I'll dismiss it myself then.
Perfect. I'm going to hand this back to you and you can submit your paperwork in the mail. Thanks for coming in.
I don't know if there's a final outcome of this case, but I hope the sovereign citizen got what he deserved. Unfortunately, this next video starts. The judge wasn't listening to his nonsense anymore. You're cool, Mark. You're very kind of you. Just going through the comments. I have at least one last video planned. Hey, Vilified Freedom. Thank you, my friend. $5 super chat. Keep up the good fight, Mark. Thank you very much, Vilified Freedom. And if anybody here isn't somehow subscribed to Vilified, be sure to go check out his channel. He makes excellent Sovcit and frauditor videos. Thank you, my good friend, very much. I appreciate it. The wrench just means basically that your comments can't be blocked by anyone else here in the chat, basically. I mean, so yeah, I mean, a wrench just goes so that you can't be blocked, basically. None of the other mods can block you, and your comments won't get hit by the YouTube automation. All right. So this final video that I have planned, at least, is a classic. Let me bring it up. I'm sure most of you have seen it here in the chat. The Hawaiian sovereign citizen. The one who uses hyphens and all that stuff. Because, after everything we just watched so far, I think this one always gives me a good laugh. I think we all deserve a good laugh here on a Friday. So just give me a moment to bring it up. There, I got the link. There we go. Let's see, share screen, share with audio. Don't mind me, guys. I don't know. I always talk to myself when I work like this. See, share screen and make it full screen. And let's watch our Hawaiian sovereign citizen friend in court.
Ashley Winley, Deputy Prosecuting Attorney for the state.
Well, this claimant's hyphen knowledge of the facts is with the forwarding at this time and location, with delivery of this message, with the peace and cooperation by this peaceful hyphen volition, period. The disclaimer's hyphen knowledge of the facts is with this claimant standing by this microphone of the documentation with the continuation of the evidence by this peaceful hyphen volition, period. With this claimant's hyphen knowledge of the facts is with avoidance of the boxes and the planes, with the fictitious hyphen courtroom by the holistic hyphen consciousness, period.
Why is he saying the punctuation? I've honestly never seen a sovereign citizen do this before.
For the claimant's hyphen knowledge of the duties is with avoidance of the perjury, with this participation by the correct hyphen sentence hyphen structure hyphen communication hyphen passe hyphen syntax hyphen grammar, period.
It's just so ridiculous. Like him dressed in that blue robe. I mean, saying the punctuation, like. I mean, it's amazing to me that the judge didn't order this guy to get some type of mental evaluation, or at the very least, have a lawyer. Like, I'm surprised the judge let him represent himself.
For this claimant's hyphen knowledge of the duties is with the bringing of the light with this courtroom, period. For the Lucy is with the light, period. For the Pharaohs is with the bringing, period. For this postmaster's hyphen knowledge of the facts is with the calling of this judgment hyphen day, with this honoring by the arch hyphen angel hyphen Lucifer, period. For this claimant's hyphen knowledge of the facts is with this claim of avoidance with the fictitious hyphen nom de jure hyphen dead hyphen entity of the William Dennis, with the fraud of the state hyphen corporate hyphen creation with this correct hyphen porting by this claimant's hyphen authority hyphen command, period.
Wow. Honestly, this might be one of the most hilarious sovereign citizens I have ever watched. I mean, I just like, how did anyone in this courtroom like keep a straight face during this? Like, if I was in that courtroom, I probably would burst it out with laughter. I mean, yeah, very good point. I was also surprised when the judge let him self-represent. I mean, like, really, this guy, I think, should not be representing himself. Well, poor DA, yep. I mean, and I'm pretty sure I saw on somebody else made a video about this and said that this prosecutor was brand new and this was one of her first cases, I think. Ugh. So much, I don't know, like, these Sovcits, man.
Can you arraign the defendant at this point, please?
Yes, Your Honor. The state of Hawaii charges on or about the 18th day of January 2017 in the County of Kauai, State of Hawaii, William Dennis did knowingly fail to appear in the court hearing in criminal number 5DTC-16-001414, thereby committing the offense of failure to appear in violation of Section 803-6 subsection E of the Hawaii Vice Statute.
All right, Mr. Dennis had previously entered a not guilty plea to the charge.
You know, that's a great point. I never thought of that. The most pissed off person in the courtroom has to be the court reporter who has to write everything down. Like, how do you even write half of what he's saying down? Like, I never thought of that before. So it's part of their magic spell, Mark. Also, the capitalization. Yep, I know. They think the magic spell works and it gets them out of trouble automatically, but yet I've never seen that magical spell work before. Thank you very much, J Card, for the $10 super chat. I-period enjoy your channel, Mark, period. Thank you very much, J Car. I appreciate it, my friend.
Objection. Objection. For my knowledge, is the claim of no plea. There is
All
no,
right, perhaps
no
the court
guidance
entered a
given.
not guilty plea on your behalf. All right, the state can call its first witness.
Your Honor, state calls Officer Cynthia Ryder.
Mr. Dennis, you can have a seat or you can remain standing if you choose.
For my knowledge, is with this claim of standing in the truth.
Ms. Oily has a copy of the exhibit list, witness list, and exhibits been provided to Mr. Dennis.
Yes, it has, Your Honor. Yeah, it does have it.
Thanks to Holy Swear this morning, I represent
Choice. Sorry.
I do. Have a seat, please state your name and where the address. Officer Cynthia Ryder, Hawaii Police Department. Whatever.
Okay. Your Honor, okay. Good afternoon, officer. Could you please state your occupation for the court?
Police officer, Kauai Police Department.
And how long have you been in that capacity?
At Kauai for 2 years, 2 months.
And on the date of December 13, 2016, at approximately 2:45 p.m., were you on duty and in uniform?
Yes,
On that date, did you issue a citation to an individual known as Mr. William Dennis?
I did.
And do you see Mr. Dennis in the courtroom today?
I do.
And could you please point him out and describe an article of clothing he's wearing?
He's standing there at the defense table with.
Yeah, I would be insulted too. I mean, these lawyers train for years, go to law school, and then you have this guy show up in a robe, just spewing utter nonsense. Just going through the comments real quick, guys. Yes, thank you very much again, Vilified Freedom. Another $5 super chat. J-Car made me do it. Thank you, my friend.
With a blue robe and a white cover on his head.
Okay. And, Your Honor, may the record reflect the identification of the defendant by the witness?
Record also reflect identification of the defendant by this witness.
And, officer, what did you cite Mr. Dennis for on December 13, 2016?
Several citations.
Okay. And on the citation, did you write a court appearance date?
I did.
Do you recall what date you gave?
I believe it was January
18th of 17.
Okay, thank you. And did you fill out the citation in Mr. Dennis's presence?
Yes.
And officer, did you cite? Do you recall what you cited Mr. Dennis for on the DTC?
Driving without a license.
Thank you. And after completing the citation form, did you request that Mr. Dennis sign it?
I did.
Did Mr. Dennis sign it?
No.
He refused to sign it.
Exactly.
After filling it out, did you give Mr. Dennis a copy of the citation?
Yes, and a court date.
And a court date. And you verbally informed him of the court date?
Yes.
Your Honor, may I approach to show the witness what has been marked as Exhibit 1?
You may. And again, Mr. Dennis has a copy of that.
Yes. If not, I can give Mr. Dennis.
Mr. Dennis, do you need a copy of it?
Mr. Dennis.
So far, I think the prosecutor is doing a good job questioning the witness. I mean, in the Sovcit, he's just standing there. I mean, just waiting for his turn to spew more nonsense. So, yeah, I agree. It should be an easy win for the prosecution. And I think this is all over. I want to say, I know one of their charges was failure to appear. But I think the initial reason for this is, I want to say probably a traffic ticket or something. They say it later on in the video. So, but I think that's what why they're in court.
And officer, could you please look at what I've given to you as Exhibit 1 and tell us what it is?
It's a traffic court citation for Mr. Dennis driving without a license.
Do you recognize it?
I do.
What is it?
All right, there we go. Driving without a license. And then he later fails to appear at another court appearance. Thank you, Vilified, for coming. Have a great Friday and a great weekend, my friend. Take care, my friend.
Is it the one that you wrote?
It is.
And how do you know that?
My handwriting, my signature.
And is it an accurate copy of the one that you handed to Mr. Dennis?
It is.
And does it accurately depict, does it accurately state the date of the hearing?
Well, the grandson wants pizza, so I have to hop off here. Hope everyone has a good day, and I hope to see you tonight. Vilified, I hope everyone here can come. I will do my best to be there. I will plan on it. And thank you very much, Jennifer, for all your help dropping the links and all that stuff. It really means a lot to me. Thank you, my friend, and have a great Friday, my friend.
Yes.
And it states it as January 18, 2017?
At 9:30, yes.
Thank you. Your Honor, at this time, the state requests to move Exhibit P1 into evidence.
Mr. Dennis, any objection to item P1 being admitted into evidence?
Objection for this claimant's knowledge of the facts with the claim of avoidance with this fictitious non de jure dead entity of the William Dennis with the fraud of the state corporate creation with this correct porting by this claimant's authority command period. For my knowledge is with the claim of several violations. For my knowledge is with the claim of one violation. And for my knowledge it is with the claim of driving under suspension. For my knowledge is that claim was dismissed with prejudice. For my knowledge is I was not driving with a suspended license.
Over objection, P2 will be admitted into evidence.
Oh, Your Honor, it is P1. I believe the exhibit list has it incorrectly stated as P2. It should be P1. I'm sorry. And officer, did everything you testified today occur in the state of Hawaii, County of Kauai?
Yes.
Thank you. No further.
Yeah, pizza does sound good for lunch. You know, all this talk in the chat about lunch is now starting to make me a little hungry. Take care, Socks. Thank you for stopping by. Just going through the chat real quick. Alrighty.
Further questions, Your Honor.
Mr. Dennis, this is your opportunity to question the officer.
Yes.
Do you have any questions you would like to?
First, for this claimant's knowledge of the facts is with the claim of the prosecutor's participation with the perjury of the past time and future time and sentence structure with the usage of an adverb verb modification syntax with the void of a correct now time factual statement with the salvaged document by the evidence, period. For this claimant's knowledge of the factual contract is with the claim of the correct docking of these quo warranto complaint vessels with the office of the prosecutor with the date of tilde August 8 2016, comma, tilde December 20th 2016, comma, tilde January 10th 2017.
Take care, my friend. Thank you for stopping by, and I hope you have a great weekend. Hey, I made the live stream all the way from Bonnie, Scotland. Hi all, hope life is treating you all kindly. Hey Jillian C, great to have you here. Same, now you're all making me hungry. It's almost 1 o'clock here on the East Coast, so I'll probably after this stream grab some lunch. Pizza sounds good, but I don't know. Maybe I'll save that for tonight. Anyway, so this sovereign citizen is supposed to be questioning the witness, but all he's doing is rambling on with his script. With his hyphen script.
In March 10th 2017, with this complete mail livery by this logbook documentation evidence, period.
What the hell was that? The judge asked you if you had any questions for the witness, and if there was a question in that rambling, nobody understood it.
I'm gonna need that action to
Mr. Dennis, I don't believe that was a question. Did you understand that to be a question? Mr.
This claimant's knowledge of the facts is with the avoidance of this witness.
I want to strike the last question as not being a question, being vague and confusing, but I'll let you try again. So
my knowledge is with the correct participation in correct sentence structure, passe, syntax, grammar. For this claimant's knowledge of the facts is with avoidance of this witness by the avoidance of the boxes of the planes and the oath with the usage of an adverb verb modification syntax with the documentation by the correct sentence structure communication passe syntax grammar, period.
Period. Like, how does he expect anybody to understand what the hell he's saying? I think he's just doing this mostly to try to confuse the judge and the prosecution. Thank you, Jillian C, for the £5 super chat. Have a factual coffee or other treat on me, Mark. Thanks for the entertaining content and making fun of these dweebs. Thank you very much for your support, my friend. Thank you. I appreciate it. If courts and the prosecutors would take this seriously, Sovcits would stop or serve time to allow them to rethink their lives. Oh God, that would be hell. Can you imagine if everyone everywhere talked like this? Oh nope. I cannot imagine. That would be hell, pretty much.
And, Your Honor, state would object on the grounds that the question is overly vague.
I don't even know if it is a question, it's more of a statement, so I'll sustain.
I just want to say that everyone in that courtroom is doing a great job at remaining professional. If I was there, I would have bursted out laughing a long time ago.
My knowledge is with the claim of the quo warrantos and the proper documentation with the Office of the Prosecution with a correct contract with the Chief Prosecutor, Justin Kline, period.
We will note that for the record. Mr. Dennis, would you like to try and ask the officer any other questions?
I love how the judge is like, so you gonna ask a question or not? He should pronounce every sentence too, just to torment the stenographer. I feel bad for the stenographer though. Just imagine having to write all of this down. Like, I think at that point I would just quit my job. What the hell is this guy hyphen talking about? Just nonsense. Absolute nonsense. Trying to confuse everyone. Thank you for my wrench too. No problem, my friend. No problem at all. The judge needs to reply, your hyphen sir period are guilty exclamation point. I have no idea how these people stay calm and sane in the presence of this idiocy. They should be issued vodka with their salaries for after work. I agree. I mean, I can just imagine it's so difficult for them to maintain their sanity when they have to listen to these Sovcits spew all this nonsense. OMG, this guy's a nutcase. Yes, he is, in my opinion. I mean, which is like I said earlier, it's amazing to me that the judge didn't order him to have some type of psychiatric evaluation.
All right, I understand that to be a statement. No questions based on no crime being committed is what I believe you are saying. So, Officer Reader, you can step down at this point. No further questions. State can call its next witness.
Yes, Your Honor. And the next witness state would call is the District Court Clerk, Jocelyn Soltrin.
You solemnly swear to affirm that the testimony about to present is the truth and whole truth. Yes. State your name and work address.
My name is Jocelyn Soltrin. My work address is 3970 Kamahami Street, Lytle, Hawaii, 96766.
Good afternoon, Ms. Soltrin.
Good afternoon.
Could you please state your occupation for the court?
I'm a court clerk.
And you work for the state judiciary.
That's correct.
And how long have you been working at the judiciary?
10 years.
And what do you do?
We do a very wide range of duties. We consider this court clerks, but we work the window, we do calendaring, we do videography, we do court clerk.
Thank you. And among these duties as a clerk, are you also custodian of the criminal records for the District Court of the Fifth Circuit of the state of Hawaii?
Yes.
Oh, they definitely should get hazard pay, Steve Flo. I agree. They should be getting hazard pay. There is some mountain man in Montana. I think that is off the rails too. Are you talking about? I think he calls himself the Living Man. I think his name is Ernie. There's a few of them, I think. I mean, the living man, Ernie.
Are court proceedings in the District Court of the Fifth Circuit of the State of Hawaii video recorded?
Yes, it is.
Are you a custodian of such video records?
Yes,
Are you here today in response to a subpoena?
yes,
And pursuant to subpoena, were you asked to prepare a video recording for case number 5DTC-16-001414 on the date of January 18, 2017.
that is correct.
Did you prepare the video recording?
Yes, I did.
Are the video recordings of the court proceedings made in the normal and ordinary course of practice for the District Court of the Fifth Circuit of the State of Hawaii?
Yes.
What happens to these recordings after they are recorded?
After they're recorded, they're actually placed in a file. We have all the recordings.
Okay. And how long are these recordings kept?
Oh, as long as I've been here.
Okay. And
Yeah, Ernie the living man. He did fade away. I was actually at some point in the future, I have one of his old videos saved in my archive. I'm planning to do a classic Sovereign Citizen video about him. That guy is out. That guy is bonkers. Whatever happened to this one Sovcit video where he's taken off his home by order, and all he does is complain till he got tased by a SWAT team? I'm not sure. I'm trying to think of the video you're talking about. But I'll look into it, see if I can find any information on it. Just reading through the comments. Hey, Dr. Manna, good to see you. Hope you're doing well.
keeping the video recordings, is that part of the normal and ordinary course of practice for the District Court of the Fifth Circuit of the State of Hawaii?
Yes, it is.
And what procedures did you follow in preparing the video recording that was requested for today?
Well, basically, we go on the intraweb and actually look up the actual case itself, on the date itself. And we go ahead and view the recordings and pull out what recording that was requested, and then we'll burn it on the CV.
Okay, thank you. And Your Honor, at this time, the state is asking to approach the witness and show what has been marked as State's Exhibit P2.
All right, show it to Mr. Dennis first.
Hey, Mark, I'm doing pretty well today. Thanks for asking. How about you? I'm doing good. Doing good. Thank you for asking, my friend. It's always good when it's a Friday.
And Ms. Siltran, can you please examine what has been handed to you as State's Exhibit P2?
Okay.
Do you recognize it?
Yes, I do.
Can you identify it? What are you looking at?
I'm
Take care, Cassie. Thank you for coming, and I hope you have a great weekend.
looking at a CD recording of January 18, 2017, the State versus Roland, case number 5DTC 16-1414.
Okay. And is that the one that you prepared for
Yes,
this
I did.
course? And how do you know?
It's my handwriting, I know.
Very good. And will this recording is a true and accurate recording of the proceeding that occurred on January 18, 2017?
Yes.
And is this video recording labeled as Exhibit 2 a true and accurate recording of the video proceedings, the video records kept in the regular course of business by the District Court of the Fifth Circuit of the State of Hawaii?
Yes.
Your Honor, the state is asking to play the video recording. Oh, sorry, Your Honor. The state first moves to move this exhibit into evidence.
Mr. Dennis, do you have any objection to item?
For this claimant,
There's a recent video you should see on Blue Shield camera. It has a green-haired loony on there in a hospital spitting and resisting police. Amazing stuff. I think I've seen it in my recommendations list, but I haven't had a chance to watch it yet. But I'm definitely going to. Probably later on tonight, maybe. Oh, these loonies, man. And now we have this Hawaiian sovereign citizen about to spew off more nonsense.
it's not hyphen knowledge of the facts is with this claim of avoidance with the fictitious hyphen nom de jure hyphen dead hyphen entity of the William Dennis with the fraud of the state hyphen corporate hyphen creation with this correct hyphen porting by this claimant's hyphen authority hyphen command, period.
All right, over objection, PD2 will be admitted into evidence.
Your Honor, permission to approach the witness to collect the exhibit.
All right, we're going to jump ahead a little bit here because they just show a video of him basically not showing up to court, which I really don't know why that was necessary, but we're going to fast forward a bit, speed this up a bit. Here at a
So that happened January. Does that video accurately reflect the occurrence, the events that happened on January 18, 2017?
Yes.
Your Honor, the state made the record reflect that the state has shown a video recording from January 18, 2017 in case number 5DTC-16-001414, and that the video recording illustrates the proceedings and shows that Mr. William Dennis did not appear at the proceedings on that day.
The video speaks for itself. The witness has identified what it is.
Okay, thank you.
I'm not going to make a finding like that.
Okay, thank you. And Ms. Iltrin, did everything you testified today occur in the state of Hawaii, county of Kauai?
Yes.
Thank you. No further
All right,
questions.
can you turn that off?
Yes.
It's a little distracting.
Yes, Your Honor.
Question.
The question. Let's see if Mr. Dennis will actually ask a question this time. Spoiler alert, he won't. I need a translator to understand him. Oh yeah, well, I think we all do. Mr. Dennis, so delusional.
That the belief system is of a different structure. By my God, of many names. So this claimant's knowledge of the facts is with the claim of the prosecutor's hyphen participation with the perjury of the past hyphen time and future hyphen time hyphen sentence hyphen structure with the usage of an adverb hyphen verb hyphen modification hyphen syntax with a void of a correct hyphen now time hyphen factual hyphen statement with the salvage hyphen document by the evidence, period. For my knowledge of the facts is with avoidance of this witness.
Objection, Your Honor. It appears that it sounded like a statement and it was overly vague if it was a question.
Ms. Soltrin, do you understand any part of that? No. Question to you?
No.
I'm going to grant or sustain the objection. Mr. Dennis, it's vague and confusing, and it would probably be more helpful if you could break it up into sections, small pieces at a time, that if it is a question, the witness would be able to understand and answer. So I'll
Basically, what the judge wants to say is, what the hell are you saying, dude? Like, talk normally.
let me try again.
Yeah, for my knowledge, crime has been committed.
All right, thank you. Ms. Soltrin, you are excused. There be no questions.
Yeah, for me, excuse. Okay,
Thank you.
Your Honor,
Any further?
no, the state has no further witnesses.
All right, the state has arrested Mr.
This man interacts with rainbow farting unicorns when he is alone. Hey, I'm about to eat my own nom du gars. LOL. Sounds like my sister and I when we were young speaking gibberish and pig Latin.
Mr. Dennis, this is your opportunity to present your evidence. You can call witnesses, or you can testify on your own behalf, or you can choose not to testify. Do you have any witnesses you would like to call?
I'm sure his argument will be good and well thought out.
For my claim was with a statement by my God of many names. My knowledge is with the claim of the charge of my driving with a suspended license, of being dismissed with prejudice, is with the lack of my requirement of attending the court's presence for my knowledge. For my knowledge is with the factual contract, with the claim of the correct hyphen docking of my quo warranto hyphen complaint vessels with the office of the prosecutor, with the date of all these offenses, beginning with the date of tilde August hyphen 8 hyphen 2016, comma, tilde December hyphen 20th hyphen 2016, comma, tilde January hyphen 10th hyphen 2017.
When you said his argument would be well thought out, I nearly choked on my coffee laughing. Now my son is giving me funny looks. Yeah, you tell I used a bit of sarcasm there. Actual made-up languages teachers do not understand. Maybe a 60s thing, LOL.
In March hyphen 10th hyphen 2017, with this complete hyphen mail hyphen livery, by this logbook hyphen documentation hyphen evidence, period.
Mr. Dennis, I'm not sure I followed that. I do want to advise you again of your constitutional right regarding testifying. As I discussed with you before the start of the trial, you have a constitutional right to testify in your own defense. It is your decision, and no one can prevent you from testifying should you choose to do so. If you do decide to testify, the prosecutor will be allowed to cross-examine you. You also have a constitutional right not to testify.
How does someone get this removed from normal social interaction? I'd say maybe a bit of brainwashing by other Sovcits and stuff, because he didn't wake up one day and just decide this is what he was going to do. I have a feeling somebody did coach him and get him into this nonsense, unfortunately. Lord, give the court types a break, man. Poor person. Yeah, the guy that has to write everything down. I would not want that job, especially at this trial, to say the least.
And to remain silent. If you choose not to testify, the court cannot hold your silence against you in deciding your case.
Oh, that's a good question, J. Carr. Why are some so vulnerable to brainwashing? I can't answer that because, I mean, I've never been brainwashed, but I don't know. I think people have to be very gullible and just believe in what they want to hear, basically. At least that's just my opinion.
Is it your intent to testify or not to testify? And if you are going to testify, I would ask you to come up to the witness stand and you'll be sworn in so that you can provide sworn testimony.
My knowledge is with the claim of protecting of my constitutional rights of the First Amendment, of the Sixth Amendment, and of previous Supreme Court rulings of driving is a right, where I am not participating in commerce or trade. I am a private minister with the servicing of my community of food, clothing, shelter, medicine, knowledge. I have committed no crime.
Mr. Dennis, I just want to make sure I'm clear. If you do want to testify, I have advised you to come to the witness stand. You made a statement to the court. Is it your decision not to testify?
For this claimant's knowledge of the duties as a postmaster, with the bringing of the light with this courtroom, period. For the Lucy is with the light, period. For the Pharaohs is with the bringing, period. For this postmaster's knowledge of the facts, with this calling of the judgment day, with this honoring by the angel Lucifer, period. Respect for you as a person of my equal standing.
No crime, huh? He committed some pretty serious crimes against the English language. Yep, I agree with that. You know, this isn't the only person that has done this hyphen, period, comma nonsense. I have another video of a sovereign citizen at a traffic stop trying the same thing. Let's just say it didn't work out for him. I feel the need to get drunk to understand him. I don't know. I think even drunk, I don't think we'd be able to understand him.
All right, I don't know if that was an answer or not. So I will, if you want to testify, I will allow you to come to the stand and testify. If you don't come forward to the stand, then I will take it to mean that you do not intend to testify.
For my knowledge is a claim of no crime being committed.
I do believe I understand that to indicate that you do not intend to testify. You don't believe it is necessary, as well as by your not coming to the witness stand, your actions indicate you do not intend to testify.
Yep, the Win Miller defense. It's all David Win Miller's fault. I haven't done much research about him, but as to my understanding, he was the one that started this whole hyphen nonsense defense. I enjoy the comments and doings from all over the world as much as the content. One of the reasons I watch. Glad to have you here, Mary Mattel. I think that's how you pronounce it. But yeah, good to have you here. That's why I like doing these live streams. I mean, I do videos all the time, but really can't interact with you guys in a pre-recorded video. So, other than the comments section, but that's not the same. So that's why I like doing these streams and watching these classic clips with you guys, and all of you. So let's get right back into the video. We're almost done this video, and then I think I'm gonna have one more video after this. It's a very short one, and I think after that video is where we're gonna wrap it up. But we'll see. Nothing set in stone yet.
Do you have any witnesses that you want to present? It is your opportunity to call any witnesses you want to testify at this point on your behalf.
This judge has a lot of patience. Kudos to him for putting up with this nonsense.
For my knowledge, with the claim is with my God being the only witness of authority, and I stand by my God of many names.
All right, thank you. I will take that as an indication that you do not intend to call any other witnesses. And the defense, is it your intention to rest your case at this point?
For my knowledge is a claim of no case. For my knowledge is with the participation in correct sentence structure, passe, syntax, grammar,
All right, I believe the defense is rested.
The judge is just like, all right, I guess the defense just rested. I'm really enjoying the live stream too. I wish I tuned in earlier. I'm glad everyone's enjoying the streams. I would like to try to do a live stream at least once or twice a month going forward if possible, and maybe more, but if time permits. But just busy a lot of the time, and it's difficult for me to stream a lot, especially around nighttime because the house is full of people, and it's just too loud sometimes to be able to stream. So it's just I like it though. I mean, these streams are fun. And like I said, the interaction with you guys, being able to chat and banter with all of you is just awesome.
Miss Winoli, there really was not any evidence taken on behalf of the defense, so I don't believe there's an opportunity for rebuttal. So at this point, the evidence is completed, and I'll take argument.
Your Honor, based on the evidence and the testimony submitted today, it is clear that Mr. William Dennis was stopped, and that he did receive a citation, which indicated the hearing date for the arraignment. And furthermore, the evidence does show that on the date of the arraignment on January 18, 2017, Mr. Dennis did not appear on that date. Therefore, he committed failure to appear pursuant to 803-6E, subsection E.
Could you keep the live stream up for a bit? I came in late and would like to watch from the beginning. Oh, well, you don't have to worry about that because after the live stream ends, you should be able to watch it as a regular normal video. It might take a few minutes to process by YouTube, but after that it'll be available to play like a regular video. So, and I always keep my live streams up. You can all go watch past live streams as well if you wanted to. So yeah, you don't have to worry about that. Oh my goodness, I just can't. Did he just make a comment about proper sentence structure? You can't make this stuff up. Oh wait, he did.
Mr. Dennis, this is your opportunity to make closing argument. You may proceed.
My knowledge is with the serving of 11 days of incarceration against my will, where I was found guilty. My education of knowing that the system now proves you guilty before being proven innocent, where it used to be innocent until proven guilty. I think that was cruel and unusual punishment for my being, who has never committed a crime in his entire life in this state or any other country in the world. And the fact that I always appear before the judge or the system for any criminal charges, except for this oversight of this time. And with the belief that in my world, in my system, an understanding of the Constitution and the law, that I have committed no crime.
Well, at least he's actually talking normally for once, not using the whole hyphen thing. And okay, thanks. Some go away after streaming. Yeah, some people take their streams down, but I don't. And like I said, this might temporarily not be available because YouTube has to process it afterwards. But after that, the stream will be available to watch anytime you want. But yeah, at least this guy, at least he's not. If he just talked like a normal human like this throughout this proceeding, I think things would have gone a lot better for this guy.
Any rebuttal argument?
None, Your Honor.
All right, court is going to make the following findings based on the evidence presented. On December 13, 2016, Mr. Dennis was given a citation by Officer Reader. The citation instructed Mr. Dennis to appear in court on January 18th, 2017 at 9:30. He was given a written copy of it, as well as Officer Reader verbally advised him of the court date of January 18th, 2017 at 9:30 a.m. On that particular court date, Mr. Dennis did not appear, as was indicated by the proceedings for that day. So the state is court's finding that the state has proved all of the material elements of the offense beyond a reasonable doubt. And that on January 18th, 2017, the County of Hawaii, State of Hawaii, William Dennis did knowingly fail to appear at a court hearing in case 5 VTC 16-001414, thereby committing the offense of failure to appear in violation of section 803-0006E of the 803-6E of the Hawaii Revised Statutes.
He's just mad he didn't get a part on The Hobbit. Yeah, thank you. We love you too, Mark. Yeah, I've said this before and I'll say it again. All of you guys, everyone watching, everyone who subscribes to me, I consider you part of my internet family. I mean, I really don't get out much, so you guys, I look forward to getting online every day, whether it's on the Discord server or making new videos and doing premieres. I look forward to that, and I'm glad all of you enjoy the content as well. And like I said before, I said it in the past, I should say, this channel would be nothing without all of you. You all mean the world to me.
Sentencing?
Your Honor, the state was asking for 50 hours community service along with credit for time served.
Mr. Dennis, is there anything you want to say before sentencing?
For my knowledge is my entire life is community service. That is what I do. I feed people, I clothe people, I bring people to health, I'm a counselor, I'm a coach, I'm a mentor, I'm all these things. So all you're asking me to do is do what I normally do. And I committed no crime.
Mr. Dennis, that commendable and admirable if that's what you do. Court's going to impose the following sentence. I note that an order pertaining to bail appears, I believe it was served on the defendant on February 15th. A warrant and an order was served, and then he was in custody until March 1st.
The state has a BBRA indicating that he was released on February 24th with instructions to return on the court date, which is March 16, 2017.
When was he put into?
Hey, Personic, good to see you, my friend. My family. He never broke a law and missed the court date. What's wrong with that picture? I'm really glad you get joy from your community, a real example of getting back what you give to the world. I agree with that, Jillian. Yeah. I mean, I'm just a guy on YouTube, just like making videos, and I'm just thrilled all of you like it as well. So it means a lot to me.
Custody?
He was put into custody according to our OBTS. State has it as February 14.
All right. Court's going to order the following. Going to order that you be confined in jail for 2 days with credit for time served. There's a $30 mandatory criminal injury fee. If the $30 fee is not paid within 90 days, it is referred to a collection agency. So you've already served the jail time, Mr. Dennis. There's just the $30 fee outstanding. Any questions?
Well,
thank you. All right.
So after all that, the only thing he got was a fine, I should say. I mean, all of that for a $30 fee. Now that I'm living alone, I stumbled into YouTube. It's fun and at least gives me a sense of normalcy. Thank you, Mark. Well, thank you, J-Car. I mean, I'm glad you are a part of the community, and it's great to have you here. So I have one more video planned for today. Well, not planned, but I just came across. Well, not. Oh, I made the decision. Like, all right, one more video. Anyway, this video I made about a month ago, so it's relatively new. Where a sovereign citizen tries to challenge jurisdiction. And of course, we all know how it works out for him. So let me just bring it up. All right. There we go. And let's see how this sovereign citizen challenges jurisdiction, and let's see how well it works out for him.
Hi, Your Honor. I'm here by special appearance only,
Okay,
reserving all rights under UCC 1-207-308. I'm here to challenge jurisdiction of this court only.
okay. What's the jurisdiction argument, sir?
This court cannot hear any of my rights on this case
Why not?
because this is a maritime admiralty court.
No, it's not.
This Sovcit is already checking off the bingo square boxes. Ugh. And yep, that Hawaii got all of that for a $30 fee. Yep.
Is this a common law court, ma'am?
No, sir, it's not.
Then the Constitution only affords two different types of defense. One is a military tribunal under maritime law, and the other is common law court.
Okay.
I move the court to set a hearing for jurisdiction.
All right, so on the no liability insurance, is that a not guilty, sir?
I will not plead, ma'am. I'm only here by special appearance to challenge jurisdiction, as I've already stated.
I'm going to enter a not guilty plea for you,
I
sir.
object, Your Honor, to practicing law from the bench.
Go right ahead and object, Mr. Warren.
The judge has the right to enter a not guilty plea on your behalf if you refuse to enter a plea. Also, if you really thought the court had no jurisdiction over you, you would have never shown up to court.
Warren, you can object till the cows come home, but I'm going to put a not guilty plea here. And we're going to set it for trial, and I'll hear your argument on jurisdiction on that day, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
We'll set that for September the 22nd.
And on and for the record, I am not surety. I'm a sentient being.
You're
I'm
what,
not.
sir?
I am a sentient being. I'm not sure. I am not. Yes, he's my co-counsel, sir.
Your friend, who probably isn't a lawyer, is not counsel. Sorry to tell you, but it's not. Oh, it's David Windmiller, not David Windmiller. Oh, sorry about that. Anyway, just going through the comments. Just reading your chat, guys. So yeah, I like really. This guy is just repeating the same script that we've heard all morning long. So they never learn either. They all think it's going to work for them, but so far as we've seen, it never does.
Mr. Warren, you can't video in here, sir. Okay, so put your phone down. Okay.
The judge tells him he's not allowed to record, but he continues to record anyway. He should be held in contempt for that, in my opinion.
And so I didn't understand what you said, the last thing that you said.
I'm sorry, there was commotion going on. Where were we?
I don't know where you were. I was at setting the trial. You said
I've also here put in a notice of conditional acceptance that's been filed, and the prosecuting attorney has not answered it, and they are in default.
Okay.
And I order a permanent estoppel by clients.
Okay, well, we'll bring that up at the trial, and I'll make a decision on that day as well, okay?
Okay.
And you want to represent yourself in that?
I cannot represent anything. I am present.
you are present, and so am I. And so on that day, on September 22nd, we'll both be here again. And then if you want to testify, you'll be allowed to. If you want an attorney, you'll be allowed that. If you don't want one, that's fine too.
Yeah, I can speak for myself.
Perfect.
I'm not.
Of course, he doesn't want an attorney because sovereign citizens think they know everything when they really don't. Oh, I love Judge Shirley. On our last stream, towards the end of our last stream, we saw that Sovcit video of Judge Shirley and that Sovcit. So I would play it, but since we recently saw it anyway, I don't know. Save it for another time, I guess. Just going through the chat. Quantum syntax grammar. I have no idea where he came up with that stuff. Yeah, that Hawaiian guy. Trying that quantum syntax. Just really delusional. Like, you have to be really gullible to believe that stuff actually works.
Not a ward of the state nor a U.S. citizen.
You're not a U.S. citizen?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
I am sovereign under God.
Okay. All right. Well, oh, sorry. I'm sorry, sir. You were on here on another page as well. Let me just read these out to you, and I suspect that we'll have the same.
Banter, yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. So no driver's license. You're going to say I don't have jurisdiction, and neither did the officers to give you that ticket, I'm guessing.
See, this judge knows the script. She can predict what he's about to say anyway. Hyphen, yes. Yeah. Someone is weeding in my yard. Still good people in this world. Yeah, I mean, in this world, I mean, there are a lot of bad people, and you just hear about all these terrible things and stuff. So sometimes it's difficult to remember there are still good people in this world. I mean, sometimes they're hard to come across, but they're still there. I mean, there's still a lot of good people.
That's correct.
Okay, and then the no liability and
They were acting under color of law.
Okay, I'm going to enter not guilty plea, and I'm going to set that one the same
And
day.
I still object on him for the record.
Okay.
Practicing law from the bench.
Of course, the classic Sovcit line, practicing law from the bench. His buddy Squeak will not be able to help him in court, I'm sure. I really want to know what happened to Squeak. Like, we had that one video of him, and then we haven't heard from Squeak ever since. I mean, I wonder if he's still giving legal advice. Hey, K-Far, good to see you, my friend. Fewer every day, it seems, of good people, but bless those that are. Yeah, I agree with that. Like I said, the world is really, I don't know, a terrible place, and there are a lot of bad people in it, but there are still some good people out there. I choose to believe a majority of people I choose to believe that the majority of people in the world are decent. It's just the awful ones that are louder. That's also true. I mean, like, you see the media, they'll never show really the good people. They're always focused, the media and stuff like that. Not to get too focused into it, but they always look at the negative stuff. Like, rarely ever report on what good people are doing in their communities. That's just my opinion, at least. But anyway, let's get back into the video.
Alrighty, so on September 22nd, just come back here with all your arguments, and if you want something written out for me to read, I'll be glad to read it that day. I did read what you're holding in your hand.
Okay.
I've already read that, but I'm not gonna make a ruling on that today, okay?
Off topic, but what happened to Glenn? He's been video silent since he got arrested. Did he finally learn? I'm gonna say he probably didn't learn. I think it's more of his attorney told him to stop making these videos and stop harassing people before you get yourself into even more trouble than you already are. I mean, that's just my opinion. People like Glenn, I'm sorry, but people like Glenn Serio don't change their ways. They just don't. If I had to guess, his attorney told him, knock it off with the video stuff for a while.
Sure.
Okay, Mr. Warren. Good luck to you, sir. I'll
Put
see
it
you
on the
back
desk,
tomorrow.
please. Can you lay it there, please? Can you please lay it there? Thank you. Have a good day.
Okay. We'll see you back then.
And you know, in the sovereign citizen's mind, he thinks he just won. Like, really, he really thinks he just won by getting to recite his script and nothing bad happening to him. But I guess any day a sovereign citizen doesn't get arrested is a good day for them. Welcome back, Socks. Good to have you back. Well, when I felt sick last week, the people in my new little town came out of the woodwork, very comforting to the soul. Yard mowed, food brought, dog taken care of, all strangers to me. Amazing. Yep, I mean, there's still plenty of good people in the world. It's just sad that they're hardly talked about and acknowledged. So I'm thinking, I guess we can still hang out for a little bit. Try to find one last video. Let's try and change it up though, from the sovereign citizens in court. I don't know, let's just see them doing a more stupid. Just going through my library. Something short and sweet. I mean, we already watched a 40-minute video today, so not going to subject you to that again. Oh, this one's a good one, at least in my opinion. This isn't a court one, like I said, but this sovereign citizen doesn't consent to getting a ticket. Let me just bring it up here. See, share screen, Chrome tab. There, share with audio. Excellent. All right. Just making sure I got it set up properly. This video I did back in January. So still kind of new, but haven't watched it on a live stream before. And I'm having fun, so why not watch another video?
Commercial vehicles. I'm traveling at the common law. I'm not involved in commerce.
Yeah, so right off the bat, he's not driving but traveling. Oh my god. And then he starts citing color of law. Gotta go to work. You stay awesome, man. Love your stuff. Do see that green-haired guy from Blue Shield Camera. You'll love it. Thank you, my friend, and I hope you have a great day at work. And take care, my friend.
Okay, are you aware that the speed limit through here is 40 miles an hour?
Speed limit in Texas for common law travelers is as fast as is safe for the conditions therein existing at the time.
If you disagree that you were going 10 miles over the speed limit, the place to argue it is in court, not on the side of the road.
Okay, well,
And I agree with that statement, Passmark. These sovereign citizens just love to hold roadside court, which isn't even a real thing. Like, for some reason, they think that they can just have court on the side of the road and get out of a ticket. Well, that's not how it works. That's not how any of this works.
Are you accusing me of doing something unsafe?
Well, sir, I'm explaining to you that you're going 10 miles over the speed limit on
the speed
a wet
limit
and rainy
applies.
road.
What kind of speed limit are you talking about?
A Texas speed limit. If you were to pay attention back there, it says 40 miles an hour.
Talking about a posted speed sign?
Yes, sir, I am.
That sign doesn't apply to me.
Okay, well, do you have your driver's license and insurance?
I'm not driving under the auspices of a commercial vehicle, of a driver's license.
So you don't have a driver's license?
I have a driver's license, but I'm not using it.
So
You have a driver's license, but you're not using it. Yes, you are. You're driving. You are literally in the driver's seat of a vehicle. Like really? Oh my god. Oh, you're just going to say that you were traveling. Well, the car didn't travel there by itself. I know some cars can do that, but your car doesn't look like one of those cars that can self-drive, or as you would say, self-travel. Can you imagine if all it took to avoid a ticket or arrest was to say, I don't consent? How many thieves or murderers do you think would say, oh, okay, I consent, take me away, officer? Exactly. These people think the words I do not consent are a magical spell. There was this one other video I remember doing a while back where I think the sovereign citizen was either getting arrested or getting a ticket or something like that, and the officer told him to do something, and the sovereign citizen was just like, "No, no, thank you. I don't have to. No, thank you." Like, really, dude, you don't have the option. It's not optional. The officer isn't asking you. He's telling you. It's like I said before. These sovereign citizens really travel me up a wall.
you're not going to give me your driver's license. Is that what you're telling me?
I'm telling you that I'm not using a driver's license. You're
Then what are you
asking me
using?
for a commercial driver's license. Are you aware of Title VII of the Transportation Code? Posted speed signs? Section 201.904 says right here, for commercial motor vehicles. Am I a commercial motor vehicle involved in commerce?
You're a motor vehicle traveling on a public roadway, so you must abide by the signs that are posted for the speed limit through here.
I'm not involved in transportation.
Which you were speeding through here.
But you're pulling me over under transportation code.
I'm pulling you over because you were speeding.
I'm not speeding.
Yes, you were speeding.
No, I was not.
Yes, you were. I need to see your driver's license and proof of insurance.
I'm not using the driver's license.
Huh?
I will show you my driver's license.
I need to take your driver's license back.
Listen to me. Listen to
I am
me.
listening to you.
Okay, listen to me. I'm going to challenge you verbally on this. Before I give you a driver's license, I want to inform you that as a peace officer sworn to uphold the Constitution and the laws of the United States, okay, you are acting outside the authority of your agency, imposing on me a transportation code that does not apply to me in this activity. I have shown you under Title VI roadways, subtitle A, Texas Department of Transportation, Chapter 201, subsection 904, speed signs. Did you read this?
Yes, sir.
Are you aware of this law?
Yes, sir. And I'm asking you for your driver's license and proof of insurance.
For what purpose?
The purpose that you were speeding on a public roadway.
What?
Why doesn't the officer just yank him out of the car and arrest him? Like really, he's refusing to provide his license, and it's just going to be a word salad game with this guy. You were traveling through Texas holding a steering wheel. That wheel controls 4 tires. That little pedal under your foot makes it go. Here's your ticket. Exactly. It's like there's a loose wire in these Sovcits' heads that they just can't connect that. Like, Serial probably stopped posting videos on his attorney's advice because he was scared that he'd end up in jail and someone would actually challenge him to that whole mutual combat thing he likes so much. Yeah. Shut up, sir. That's what the officer should tell him, really.
What are you intending to do with my driver's license under Title V and the 1974 5? Let me just ask you this. Am I under arrest?
You're not under arrest, but you're not free to go either. Right now, you're being detained.
No, you're not under arrest.
Okay, well then under Title V and the 1974 Privacy Act, I have the right to 2 kinds of information before I give you any of my personal information. Okay, I have the right to your commercial, professional ID. I have the right to verify your identification as a peace officer. I don't want to see a badge.
Identification of a peace officer.
What
I'm
is,
in a police officer.
I can buy that on eBay for $25.
You can buy one of these on eBay. That says a T on eBay.
Do you have your professional ID on you?
Yes, sir.
The officer really isn't required to show him his ID. The officer only has to show him his badge, really. And the officer here has done that. I love the video where the supervisor says Constitution. Oh, you deal with the Constitution in court. We don't deal with the Constitution here. Trying to remember what video that was. I can't remember. Which one was that?
Sir, I do.
Why don't you let me have it? I would like to call the 800 number and verify your identity.
I need to see your driver's license and proof of insurance.
I would like to see your identification first.
Sir, look. I do a 5 status check. Do you have a deputy available right now?
No.
10-4. I'm 10-4 right now. Sir, I need to see your driver's license.
I don't think you need to see it.
Yes, sir, I do need to see it.
I don't think you do. I need to see your ID.
You know, the sovereign citizen should be arrested right now, in my opinion. Like, he's refusing to show his license and won't cooperate. This officer, I think, he's patient, but maybe a little too patient with this guy. I mean, you can see how he's on his radio calling for backup, but he still only gets a ticket, so I don't know. If I was the cop, he'd be in cuffs by now, I think.
I would like to see your ID.
Sir.
Are you refusing to ID yourself?
Sir, I'm Officer Morgan from the Teague Police Department.
Officer Morgan from the Teague Police Department.
Yes.
Are you refusing to identify yourself by giving me your professional ID? You say you have it on you.
I can show you.
I want to have it in my hand, sir.
I want to have your driver's license in my hand, sir. You were breaking the law. You were speeding.
I understand what you want, and I understand that you have a professional ID. And I want you to understand, I'm challenging you verbally, okay? And I have a First Amendment right to do that, to challenge you verbally and identify you before I give you any of my ID. I've not broken any law.
Yes, you did break a law. Going 10 miles over the speed limit is considered a traffic violation, which is a crime.
Yes, sir. You were speeding.
There's no crime. I was not speeding. You are attempting to.
And now he's going to argue that he wasn't speeding when he really was, and it's pointless to argue this on the road anyway because This is the road is not a courthouse. Like, these sovereign citizens, like, they should just genetically call them motorized containers and then see the Sov shit try to get out of it. Oh, I'm sure they'd come up with some excuse. No doubt, I mean. Too bad for the Sov shit that arrests and detention are not mutually consented activities. Yeah, well, like it's like we said earlier, though. It's like they think the words "I do not consent" are magical words. Like, I don't know, these sovereign citizens, man. They're just there's no never no there's no point in trying to reason with a Sovcit. It's like arguing with an idiot. Like, there's no point to it.
Impose on me a transportation code that does not apply to me.
So you're saying that you can go as fast as you can anywhere you want to in the state
I'm saying that I have the right and the obligation to be safe, to do no harm.
The thing is, okay, first off, if you're trying to be safe and everything, right now, can you tell that the roads are wet and slippery? It's cold outside. They could possibly ice over, and you're going over the speed limit.
You're accusing me of going how fast?
You were going 52 in a 40.
52. You're saying I was doing 52 in a 40 on a roadway that is almost has no traffic. It is not raining. Yes, the roads are wet to some degree. The road is in great condition. I did nothing, absolutely nothing unsafe. I didn't swerve. I didn't weave. I didn't come close to anyone.
Sorry,
There was nothing.
I need to see your driver's license and proof of insurance.
When you identify yourself,
I've already identified myself.
No, you have not.
Police officer. Yes, I have.
I want your professional ID in my hand.
I want your driver's license in my hand, sir.
I understand.
He really thinks that the officer is just going to give him his ID. Like, no, that's not how it works. You have to provide your ID, Sovcit, because you're the one driving on the road. The cop really is too nice. The traveler should already be in cuffs by now for not complying with the officer. And I remember when I first watched this video for the first time, I really thought the officer was just waiting for backup to come and arrest him. But I mean, you could see by the title, this guy only gets a ticket, so it's just a shame, really. I mean, he definitely should have been arrested.
Understand that under Title V of the 1974 Privacy Act, I have the right to your ID first. I have the right to know what you're going to do with that information. Are you attempting to violate my protected Fourth and Fifth Amendment right to be free from unwarranted searches and seizures of my person, property, and paper on a public highway?
No, sir.
Without justification. Are you saying you can have that information without telling me what you're going to do with it?
He's going to check your license to make sure you're allowed to drive and don't have any warrants. Why do you have a license in the first place anyway? You're a sovereign citizen, and according to the sovereign citizen ideology, you guys don't need a license to drive unless you're in commerce. So right now, you're technically not driving, but traveling, according to your own sovereign citizen logic.
I'm telling you, I'm going to go run it to see if you have any warrants or anything to see who you actually are. As of right now, I do not know.
So you're telling me, okay, let's just go there. What you're telling me is that you're going to use this information to identify me and see if I have any warrants.
Yes, sir.
Is that all you're going to do?
And that's it. Yes, sir.
That's it. You're not going to attempt to cite me for any transportation code. If you just want to ID me, I may agree to your terms and conditions here.
And it's funny to me how the sovereign citizen thinks he's in control. He's really not, though. I mean, oh my God. Now, the officer is going to take your license, run it, make sure you don't have any warrants, and then cite you for speeding. Mark, that video took place in North Carolina. The couple was driving from their old state of Pennsylvania to their new state of South Carolina and had CBDs with them too. THC in them. I'll have to check that video out. Hey, welcome back, PJC. Good to have you here, my friend. Hey, Cybel Marie, good to see you as well. And also, guys, just want to give you all a heads up, in about 5 minutes from now, a new video is going to be going public here on the channel. It's a Karen video. So after this stream ends, be sure to go check that out. Yeah, let's get back into this video.
You may agree.
Okay, then I'll tell you I don't have any warrants. I'm going to give you my driver's license for the purpose of identification only, so that you can check. I'm going to agree to let you check for warrants and that kind of a thing.
So, well, why don't you just wait here till the trooper gets here also? But you can go on talking. That's fine.
So what are we doing here? Do you want my ID or not?
I need your driver's license and proof of financial responsibility. Yes.
Okay. Here you go. I see what you're saying. There you go. There you go. You can run it if you want to.
Also need your proof of financial responsibility.
In there's my bottom one. It's in an envelope. Might be this one. Let's see. This might be the current one. It expires December 16th, 2014. That one's expired.
And of course, he doesn't have any of his documentation prepared. I mean, he has to search all around his car for it. Just going through the chat. The more of these videos I see, the faster I start chanting for the taser party. Taser, taser, taser. So, it's rare to find sovereign citizens that get tased nowadays. I mean, it still happens occasionally, but not nearly as much as it used to. I mean, all newcomers should be aware Mark's channel is an excellent opportunity for binge watching. Yeah, I agree with that. I've grown a pretty good library of videos, and I've only been doing this since I believe I started making Sovcits videos in August of 2021. So we do have a pretty good library here on the channel. I get comments from people all the time that say, "Oh, we've been binge watching you. We love your videos." So it means a lot to me that people like the videos and people enjoy them.
December 18th, 2014. Let's see what we got here. 2016. Hold on. We're still going here.
Anyone seen anything lately with that crazy entitled Sovcits Moorish woman who wears the long white robe and fez and shouts "Be upstanding" whenever she walks into a government office? I haven't seen anything from her recently, but I do know who you're talking about. Just again checking the chat, and let's get back into the video.
I think we have a winner. There you go.
All right, I'll be right there. Yes, sir, Mr. Titus. Today you're going to be receiving a citation for going 52 and a 40. It's not an admission to guilt, it's just a promise to appear.
Hey, you said that you were just going to use it
to
check for warrants.
Are you listening
okay?
to me? And
I am
be in
listening
contact
to
with
you.
the courts on the 8th of January. Like I said, it's not an admission to guilt, it's just a promise to appear. You can talk to the judge about it. Also, do you have a telephone number?
I can talk to the judge about it. I'm not giving you any information.
Yeah, talk to the judge about it, because there's no such thing as roadside court. Hey, Sally Scolton, good to see you, my friend. I hope you're doing well. And hello to Enzo the God. Isn't there a charge for wasting police time? No, but there really should be, in my opinion. Good to see you guys. Glad you're here. Wow, we've been going for 3 hours. This is my longest live stream ever. Time flies when you're having fun.
I'm not answering any questions. I'm not giving you a telephone number.
Okay.
No, sir.
Are you gonna also need you to sign this?
I will sign it under duress, yes.
Under duress?
Under duress. UD, under duress.
You're not under duress.
I'm not under duress?
What's your definition of duress?
My definition of duress is against my will.
So you don't have to sign it.
I don't have to sign it.
I mean,
I'll take the citation. You can hand it to me. I don't want to sign it.
Well, sir, if you don't want to sign it, I can ensnander you on it, and we can call a judge up right now and talk to him right now. That's the next step.
You know what? I'll handle this by letter through the mail with the judge.
Okay.
I will take care of this citation.
Okay.
Okay. I'll deal with the judge.
Okay.
When I first made this video, I went to the Sovcits channel, and surprisingly, this was the only video that he posted. I had really wished that he had posted him going to court and talking to the judge, because that would have been interesting. That would be an interesting sight to see. I'd love to see a police officer give a sovereign citizen a fee schedule when they say they're going to sue the police officer. That would be nice to see, honestly. I agree with that. Just reading the chat again. And
Well, sir, I need you to sign up here. Okay. Here's your insurance and driver's license back.
All right. I want you to know, Officer Morgan, as you said,
Yes,
your name
sir.
was Officer Morgan. Officer Morgan, I want you to know that I do not appreciate you not allowing me to check your identity, refusing to identify yourself.
I identified myself as soon as I walked up to the vehicle. Here's your copy
That
of the
is
citation
not
along with the
that
judge's
is
letter.
not proper ID.
All
You
the
can
information-
say
all the
anything you
information that
want.
you need to take
The
care of,
same
that's gonna be
way.
on the back of the copy of the judge's letter along with your citation copy. Okay.
Thank you. Have a good day.
And the Sovcit gets a ticket, even though he really should have been arrested. Why on earth, I think that's what you meant to say, why on earth do these Sovcits post these videos? Do they really think they look sane, rational, and decent in them? The idea that they think the videos make them look good is mind-boggling. Yeah, it's mind-boggling to me too. I mean, they literally, when you think of it, they post their crimes on the internet, and I mean, any judge can watch that and rule against them. It's like, it's just mind-boggling to me, really. Just reading through the chat again, and I think, guys, this is where we are going to wrap up the stream. We've been going for a little over 3 hours, and I haven't eaten yet today, so looking forward to some lunch. Also, just so you guys know, I did post a new video just a few minutes ago, actually. It's a Karen video. I will drop the link in the chat if you want to go check that out. So yeah, guys, I had a lot of fun today. I appreciate everybody stopping by, hanging out with me. It's been really fun. And let me grab that link for you guys. So uncoordinated. Oh yeah, delete laws there. Yeah, I'm planning to do a video about that. Actually, I have that video saved in my archive. So yeah, guys, anyway, I might be doing a video on that soon, probably. But yeah, guys, thank you all so much for hanging out today. I really appreciate it. I want to give a huge shout out again to everybody that contributed with super chats and super stickers. Thank you to Kathy Malloy, Vilify Freedom, who donated twice, Jay Carr, and Julian C. Thank you all very much for your continued support. And of course, a huge thank you to all my members. And I said it before and I'll say it again. Your love and support, man, they mean the world to me. And until next time, guys, I will see you around. Oh, hang on. One thing I do want to plug, actually, I may be doing a gaming stream later on tonight or tomorrow on my gaming channel. So I'll leave the link to that here on chat. If you want to come check out Hangout, play some video game, well, watch me play Uncharted 3 we're playing on the channel. If you're into video games and want to hang out, there's the link for that. And guys, thank you again for all your support. And as always, I'll see you next time.